coming up right here on your first News with Keeler in the morning on your News Talk and Sports Leader WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journeys. Nokian tires, all-weather tires, are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow. Just like you, Nokian tires, all-weather for adventure in all conditions. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. When you purchase 4 Nokian tires, you'll get installation, mounting, and balancing absolutely free in the month of February at Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit our stores in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at tolmanstire.com.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to 72 Tavern and Grill today starting at 8 a.m. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. Spend some time during the week at 72 Tavern and Grill. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. it's their $10 lunch. After work, it's $3 Utica Club drafts and $5 wines. Happy hours 3 to 6 p.m. Wednesday through Friday. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates today from 72 Tavern and Grill. Hurry, they sell out fast at SeizeTheDeal.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters. 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
KFC's new smashed potato bowl is out here looking like an absolute snack. For just $3.49, you get crispy secret recipe fries topped with creamy mashed potatoes, cheese sauce, bacon crumbles, and even more melty cheese. If you're looking to smash your hunger, grab KFC's new smashed potato bowl for just $3.49. For a little extra, add nuggets to the mix. It's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Tax, tip, and fees extra.
You work hard for a living here in the Mohawk Valley. You make a difference. You leave your mark. You deserve a financial advisor who works hard for you.
Local, prudent, and trustworthy. Van Meter & Van Meter are your full-service financial professionals. I'm Chris Van Meter, and I've spent my life helping people with financial planning, investing for the future, managing their wealth, planning their taxes, thinking about their legacy.
And I'm Dave Van Meter. Our team offers you the deep bench of financial professionals you deserve. We have the education, the experience, and the tools to make a difference for your future. Visit us at VanMeterLLC.com.
We're Van Meter & Van Meter. Call us at 315-823-9200 or visit us in Little Falls, Schuyler, or Palatine Bridge.
Securities and advisory services offered through Cattery Grant & Company Incorporated, a registered investment advisor and member FINRA SIPC. Van Meter & Van Meter LLC and Cattery Grant & Company Incorporated are separate entities.
Dog parents are loving Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Premium Dog Food.
The way she acts and the way she moves, it's just so much better. And she's like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a freeze-dried raw food made with 0 artificial preservatives, so it's naturally shelf-stable with no mess, freezer, or fridge required. Plus, it's full of premium turkey, beef, salmon, and meat your dog will love.
We started with Nature's Blend. She's happy, she sleeps well, she's energetic. I am just delighted with this product.
When given the choice, Nature's Blend and Amazon's #1 bestseller in dry dog food, 29 out of 30 dogs chose Nature's Blend first.
I am so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511.
All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
All right.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Yeah. Just 3 weeks. Even better.
Can you hear me? Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations.
Do you want Bang the Drum now?
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
Over there tomorrow?
No, we'll do it tomorrow.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's B-A-B.
Notifications are on Do Not Disturb, so I can't text
Over
you.
$6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. Right. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues.
1 2 1 2
$1 million protection package, which means if you lose money because of identity
Did you want
theft,
me to turn
LifeLock
YouTube
will
on?
reimburse you.
No, I've already got it on.
limits
If you
of
check,
your
we're on. We're
Go to
live.
LifeLock.com and save
No,
up
it
to
says
25%
Are
your
you sure?
first year with
No, I don't care about that. That doesn't matter. That unit isn't working, okay?
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing
We're on.
slight turbulence.
Yeah,
Please
we're
fasten
on
your
live.
hip. Hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane.
Don't worry
is
about
as
that
confident
unit
as
in
you
the
are
in the
texting
studio.
and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, good morning, and I am crossing my fingers that everything works properly today. I have no idea, but I believe after 3 days of attempting, Andrew, we might have figured this thing out. And good morning.
Good morning. I am about to, I guess I have to see.
I can actually talk to you.
Wow, look at there you are.
You're not reverbing in my ears. So
oh my gosh.
If you're watching on YouTube right now, this is a big moment, for us anyway. And Andrew will have, when he is here, Andrew and Davey will both be here in this studio on Monday morning. And Andrew will be down that way. And there'll be a mic on Andrew and or a camera on Andrew and Davey. So feeling like this, for those who do this all the time, it's like, this is nothing. I don't know why they're so impressed. Trust me, we don't know what we're doing, and we pulled it off. And I'm pretty damned excited about it.
I'm more excited about I mean, it's actually really cool. The YouTube feed, and I'm looking at it right now, looks really cool. Davey and I are kind of, we're standing still as we can just to not avoid anything.
Right. Okay, so that's the other thing. There's a picture of Andrew and Davey, and it's a still photo. I don't have video of them in the studio.
Yeah, that's fine.
I really think I could get it, but we would do a live. I don't think I have the bandwidth to pull it off, so we didn't even go there.
I'm just glad that the audio issues are.
I think we're good. So let's move on. By the way, today it's so appropriate for us anyway that now I think I have something that I've been worrying about this all night long.
Yeah.
So today is Leap Day, of course, February 29th. And by the way, we'll get to all the school closings. New Hartford is just closed, I'm told.
They were on a 2-hour delay. They have now closed. So, and I'll go through all those. Andrew, you have the list, right? So you can go through
I do.
them. So anyway, I'm thinking last night, like, okay, I received an email today or yesterday that said the studio change is going forward. Did you get this? You need to remove all of your belongings. Everything must be removed by close of business Friday.
That's the email I got.
After now 11 years here, I think the end is here. I think instead of giving me while we're at this remote location, we'll get the email, which I've gotten so many times in my career, that just says, "Yeah, we've decided to go another direction, and
don't bother coming back.
Don't bother coming back. There's
this nice new studio. It's not going to be for you.
there's no need to come back." So with that said, it's the perfect day for it, right? Because here we are on Leap Day, and we have snow. We went from temperatures in the 60s and 70s, almost 70 anyway, over the course of the last couple of days, to frigid temperatures today with snow and wind and ice, school closings, and then tomorrow we'll reach almost 50 degrees tomorrow with sunshine. So go figure. This is just the craziest weather.
All right. On our way into the 60s by the end of the weekend and into the early part of next week.
By next week. So, okay, Andrew, last night, and I have it in front of me, there were, I think, 57. I'll get you the exact number. 50, hold on. There were 57, amendments that were proposed last night that will supposedly bring down the tax increase in Utica to somewhere like 6% or something. Did you see this?
Would you say you cut out the number? I didn't see what the actual reduction would be.
Okay, that's the question. Are we cutting out?
A little bit.
All right. If we are, I might be running too much in here. Okay, so maybe they're saying down to 6 point, dropping us down to a 0.0, so a 7% tax increase.
Okay. What gets cut? Do you have any of
I have them all.
Highlights of what's going to get cut here?
Remember, this is a proposal. I don't know how everybody voted last night, if they've even voted on it last night.
Well, it appears that, and this is according to the Sentinel, that Judge Garamone said we're going to wrap this up, we're going to adjourn it because we're running into possible open meeting law issues, and we're going to have to adjourn. So I don't know that they voted last night.
All right, well, I'll go through some of these. I'll tell you, cuts to the fire department, cuts to the police department, cuts to the park service, and that just burns me up. Because here they went under Palmieri and with all that ARPA money and created all these new parks, all these new expenses. I don't want to say there were a ton of them, but there's 2 or 3. Instead of working on fortifying the parks that they currently have, and now there will be cuts.
Well, in a time where you're seeing it, I'm sorry to say it, and people can be naive or blind to it or deny it, but crime is on the rise around the city. The police department is very they're overwhelmed. I just don't think that's an appropriate cut either, frankly.
So they're also here, they expect to be able to offset the 16% tax increase. They're saying that they would expect about $200,000 in tax money from marijuana. Okay. And, there was just a new facility that just opened in Utica. Additionally, installing 310 parking meters that the city bonded for back in 2023 to collect parking revenue. That will get them, they say, about $50,000.
Okay.
Well, I got to tell you, it will not come without criticism. However,
who are you going to pay to enforce them?
You can't find a part. You're going
to pay somebody a $50,000 a year salary to go around and make sure that everybody's up to date on the meter.
Well, maybe they've accounted for that. We'll ask her about that. but they're saying they'll have $50,000 in revenue.
Okay.
Building permits. They expect $600,000 in building permits, which was in the budget at $500,000, so they add $100,000 there. A vacant property registration, adding $150,000. Urban renewal goes from $0 to $1.5 million. That's adding revenue, they say. Selling property. Which one? The sale of Division Street, Water Street, and Whitesboro Street to Masonic Medical Research will bring in $135,000. So the list goes on and on. Then there are cuts to the Parks Department, to the DPW, to fire, and to police. Now, there are things in there that it seems like maybe these are vacant positions. It also seems like it's possible that they've changed hours. They're removing overtime in a lot of different areas. The question is, what is the pushback going to be from police, from fire, from Mayor Galimi, in fact?
Yeah, well, there'll be a lot of it. And I'm getting word that the council had to end the meeting without action because they violated open meeting laws by not having the legislation in 24 hours before.
Okay.
So
All right.
I guess they were presenting these amendments and these cuts, prior to the meeting or even at the meeting, I think.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll speak with Katie Aiello about it coming up this morning, but at least I have all 57 of these. They're either cuts or areas where revenue they feel is going to be coming in that was not represented in Galimi's budget proposal. So call it what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I understand that they're trying to save listen, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They're trying to save the taxpayers, the city of Utica money, but I think that it's a tough pill that the mayor's going to have to swallow, and that everybody's going to have to swallow.
At this point, you kind of have to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? At this point, we will speak with Katie Aiello today and the Democrats. And all these bills are put in by LaMedico, Aiello, Bitar, and Burmaster. And LaMedico is on a couple of these, too.
Yeah, we'll have Bitar and Katie Aiello on this morning in the 7 and 8 o'clock hour.
All right. Let's go through some of these school delays you have, Andrew. There are many of them out there this morning.
They are plentiful.
And I know you said flurries are falling. I want to read you a message from Richard here this morning.
Richard.
Thank you for that. Let me find him. He's saying that we could be looking at an additional 8 to 14 inches today.
Wow.
At least New Hartford.
Where is
this
that?
Will be very, very localized. And then I have another one in here where he says that he's already, in New Hartford, he says he has 10 inches on the ground already. And another 8 possible today. So I think that's why you've seen New Hartford schools closed. That's the predicted forecast. The lake effect snow warning is in effect through 7 o'clock tonight now. That was extended earlier this morning.
Interestingly enough, in North Utica, where I am, and a little bit further north into Deerfield and going up towards Barneveld, we usually get more snow and weather than down in the southern part of the area, like the South Utica, New Hartford area. But it seems to have flipped because I didn't have that much snow on the ground where I live this morning.
And the other part is it was very windy. So a lot of times when you get these conditions, high winds, blizzard conditions, you see drifting more than you see, your front lawn might not look like there's a lot of snow, but a lot fell and there's a lot of drifts. I don't know. I haven't been out, Andrew, in over 5 days, so I couldn't tell you. All I know is I looked
out the basement window.
I looked out the window yesterday, and it was like the grass was green. I look out this morning, and it's white. So take it for what it is. School delays and closings. What do we have?
Here we go. All right, we got a whole bunch of stuff for you. Hamilton College, Herkimer College, MVCC, SUNY Morrisville, and Utica University are opening at various varying times. So actually, Hamilton Morrisville and Utica University opening at 10 a.m. Herkimer College and MV will open at 11. The following schools are closed. We have Frankfort Schuyler closed, New Hartford Central Schools, New Hartford Presbyterian Nursery School, Oneida City Schools, St. John the Evangelist Nursery School, Stockbridge Valley Central Schools, and Waterville all closed. On just your regular old garden variety 2-hour delay, we have Central Valley, Cherry Valley, Springfield, Christian Heritage School, Clinton Central Schools on a 2-hour delay, Herkimer Central Schools, Madison, Mohawk Valley Christian Academy, New York Mills, Notre Dame, Oneida, Herkimer, Madison, Boces, Owen D. Young Central Schools, St. Francis de Sales School in Herkimer, Utica Academy of Science and Utica City Schools on a 2-hour delay, Webb Union Free School District on a 2-hour delay, and so is Whitesboro. 2-hour delays with no AM BOCES include Adirondack Central School, Dolgeville, Holland Patton Central Schools. We have OESJ, Oriskany.
What is OESJ? What is that?
Oppenheim, Ephrata, St. Johnsville.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know, thanks. Poland Central Poland Central Schools, Remsen Central Schools, and West Canada Valley all on a 2-hour delay with no AM BOCES. And then we have the coveted 2-hour delay, no AM BOCES, and no AM pre-K at Brookfield, Camden, Hamilton Central Schools, Little Falls, Morrisville, Eaton, Mount Markham, Spritfield Springs.
It's a huge list today.
VVS, yeah, and Westmoreland Central Schools. And the only reason we've got to really go through all of them is because you do have those little
2-hour delays.
The 2-hour delays and the no AM BOCES. And then some have pre-K but no AM BOCES. Some have no AM BOCES, but they do have the pre-K, so it's all.
All right.
It's all
all right. So Tanya's coming up. What's her topic?
Tanya will be talking about this crazy idea that Wendy's wants to do surge pricing, which means if it's busier, you're paying more.
I pulled the story this morning. Tanya J. Powers, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So Wendy's is explaining. You know that when you do something and you have to come out and explain it, you probably have a problem.
Yes. I think what this has turned into is quite an example of PR 101 of what not to do. When you're talking about, making a big change at your restaurant. They may not have thought putting a digital menu board was a big change. However, it got, as they say, misconstrued in the media. I think this came from an earnings call that they had earlier in the month.
Yep.
And they had said that they were going to roll out this, and they said not just the menu boards, they were going to roll out the dynamic pricing model as early as next year. And when you start telling the general public you're going to start a different pricing model, especially in a time where people think they're already paying too much for everything anyway, that's probably not a great idea to roll out a term that most of us who are not economists have never heard of, especially when you equate it to the fact that, a dynamic pricing model means that prices fluctuate based on time, location, and demand. Well, the first thing, that most people think of is surge pricing. Like when you get an Uber, if you do it in the rain or at 5 a.m, they're going to go, well, surge pricing. We're going to charge you more because we can.
Or the gas station over there by United Nations down by you that charges $6 for a gallon of gas because there aren't any other gas stations and they can do it.
No.
We see it up here as well. And one neighborhood will charge, same company, but, how can they charge 30 cents more a gallon? Well, neighborhood, time of day, that sort of thing. All right. Boy, if they succeed in this, look out because it's coming to every fast food joint that's out there.
Well, they have rolled it back and said, okay, surge pricing is not what we meant. What they're saying is because that would be raising prices when there's highest demand, so lunch hour would cost more than, some other time of the day. That's what they've put out another statement to clarify this is that is not, what we're doing. We are, instead, potentially the dynamic pricing is also one of those things where I guess happy hour would be covered in this. Like, if you go to a place that has, the restaurant down the block from me has it's an Italian place, has pasta deals on like Sunday and Monday night for 2 for 1 something, or you know what I mean.
Yep.
That's also an example of it. That's just not what people normally think of, and it's like I said, especially when you say you're messing with people's menu prices. But they say no, surge pricing is not what they had in mind. That this is not what they're doing. They're not going to fleece their customers when they're in the drive-through. So that's good news. There have been some, of course, their competitors are taking advantage of this. Burger King. If you're a Burger King fan, you'll love this. They said in a news release yesterday that they're offering customers a free Whopper or Impossible Whopper with the purchase of $3 or more now through tomorrow when customers order through the BK app. Their little statement was surge pricing. Good thing the only thing surging at BK is our flame. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, the Wendy's kind of stepped in it with the dynamic pricing thing.
Well,
That's not making people happy.
Imagine what would happen if we see it a lot up here, and I'm sure you're familiar with it outside of New York. But the high schools on a big football game, the band, the cheerleaders, the football team. Hey, we'll go to McDonald's, and they 3 buses pull in. I used to work at McDonald's. That's the worst thing that can happen. When all of a sudden, 75 people get off the bus and they all want food immediately. So you jack the price there. I mean, we have to work harder. Very, very interesting. So, and there's another story out there too. The fillet of fish has shrunk in size. And those in the know say McDonald's kind of snuck that one in on us. You'll have to see when you buy your fillet.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It seems like the sizes of a lot of things have shrunk.
Yep.
The shrinkflation, that's not a figment of our imagination.
It is not
gotten smaller. Yeah.
It is not. Except for me, I keep getting larger, which I'm working on. So I feel like if I keep getting sick, it's a good diet. It works well. I lose weight every time I get sick. So
I think that's a risky diet plan, but that's
You may be right. You may be right. Tanya, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tanya J. Powers from Fox News. All right, Andrew, I say we need to take a break.
Yes, I would agree.
And so then we will. It's 6:40. Stand by. We'll come right back. I've got a bunch of news stories that are out there, local stuff, and then beyond. Coming up at WIBX.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journeys. Nokian tires, all-weather tires, are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow. Just like you, Nokian tires' all-weather products are built for adventure in all conditions. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. When you purchase 4 Nokian tires, you'll get installation, mounting, and balancing absolutely free in the month of February at Holman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit our stores in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at holmanstire.com.
Nobody does a President's Day sale better than Carl's Wholesale Furniture Warehouse. Nobody. This is the sale when Carl's lower than anybody. Low prices go even lower. On sofas, sectionals, and reclining furniture, dining sets, bedrooms, and the lowest mattress prices you've ever seen. Everything's priced low to sell fast. Carl's has it all in stock, ready for fast delivery. Plus, no credit needed special financing. The time to buy new furniture is now during the President's Day sale at Carl's Wholesale Furniture Warehouse.
Are you or a loved one dealing with physical issues? Are you about to have a corrective surgery? Be prepared and take the stress out of recovery. Visit Home and Hospital Medical Supply in the new Hartford Shopping Center. From mobility aids to home safety equipment, they carry it all. Whether it's a heating pad for back relief or a knee brace for that sports injury, they now even have light therapy equipment to fight seasonal depression, and your health insurance will cover it. Home and Hospital Medical Supply. Care with convenience.
At Mattress Express, get a Queen Flex head bed with adjustable base and a set of sheets for $14.99. Qualified buyers get no money down and up to 60 months to pay. A Flex head bed is where each head goes up and down independently, but it's still one solid mattress. See store for details.
When you order food for work on EasyCater.com, we've got your back with 24/7 support to make sure everything goes right. Confirming with the restaurant, guiding drivers when they need delivery instructions, making sure the food arrives on time and is ordered. But if there's a problem...
Thanks for calling EasyCater.
Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll answer in seconds. Because food for work has to work, and we're right here to make sure it does. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, welcome back here to a Thursday morning, the final day ever that we are, well, Davey will be in the studio tomorrow, but we won't be. We'll be at the Heart Radiothon, the Slocum Dixon Heart Radiothon, tomorrow from 6 a.m. until, 6 p.m., right?
Yes, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Bill and I will be there broadcasting 6 a.m. to noon. Then we have Mr. Rondinelli coming back out of retirement.
The return of Jim Rondinelli. I love it.
Yes, from noon to 3, he will be with Mr. Ed Welsh. Or no, he'll be with Megan, who is our boss here at WIBX. And then Ed Welsh and Dick Presky, the dynamic duo, will be back, I believe, 3 to 6. So that's kind of the rundown of the schedule there.
All right. It's tomorrow, and please give if you can. And, of course, the Health Expo is going on tomorrow at Utica University. We'll be there for that. And then, of course, the Heart Run and Walk. You could still, I believe, sign up and get involved in that on what's going to be beautiful, I believe, on Saturday, at least in terms of temperature. Some guy in the 540 says, BK always has $3 Whoppers on Wednesday.
Whopper Wednesday.
I didn't know that. Some other comments this morning. Mike that says Wendy's certainly could make things worse if they decide they're also going to start serving cereal to people who can't afford the hamburger. That story was out there. What was that?
Cereal for dinner.
Oh, it was the Kellogg's. It was the Kellogg's CEO suggested to save money, people should eat cereal. Listen, being on the keto type diet.
Yeah.
You don't eat cereal. It's all there's.
Are there not any keto-friendly cereals?
There probably are, but
they probably taste like cardboard bits.
But I'm on a little more of an extreme carb thing, and I really am. By the way, this week I'm dropping pounds like crazy. This flu diet is really good. I might actually write a book about it.
There you go.
So, I crave cereal. I crave Frosted Flakes.
Really?
I love Life cereal.
Life is good. It's underrated cereal.
There are a few others that I just crave. And, you slice up some fresh bananas. Man, that's good. Bananas, too, are high in carbs.
Yeah, I did know that, actually. And what I don't get is the outrage, right? I mean, my fiance even said this to me one time. Oh, you always worry about what we're having for dinner. I'd be perfectly fine with a bowl of cereal. What's wrong with him coming out and saying, have a bowl of cereal for dinner? I don't understand the outrage, I guess. He got a lot of heat for it.
Listen, I think we're just looking in this world of news right now. I think people are simply looking for something to complain about.
I guess
that gets them away from Biden, Trump, Ukraine, Israel, Putin, the budget, possible government shutdown. I mean, just think about everything going on. I think they're looking for something to complain about.
Yeah.
And, probably it's justifiable. Mike, also, perhaps the New Hartford School District uses Richard to make decisions on whether or not they close. That's possible. It is possible, Mike. I would say it's possible.
He may already be. We don't know.
Ann in Rome, I have you on YouTube. All good. All right, Ann, thank you. So anytime you're trying out new things, we just needed to have one morning and cross your fingers, it's only been a few minutes. One morning that went well, knowing this is the only thing we have starting Monday, right? Like literally, there will be a computer, and then we'll be connecting to it. There will be no studio back at the studio where you are right now, so it'll be completely gutted. So, you get a little bit nervous. I'm a little nervous. I don't know about you.
It's interesting because if
I'm really not
I can look at Kelly, the guy who's been spearheading from the corporate team, he's been spearheading our studio renovations. He's been really awesome, and he's been very helpful. I put our trust in him.
He is a throwback to if the radio engineers of years past,
yesteryears.
Who, by the way, I always got along with the engineers. A lot of radio people don't get along with the engineers. They don't get along with salespeople. I always got along with although there have been moments. I will be honest. He is as if the old engineer, the years of red and green wires actually mean something, meets the new tech of today. So he knows all of the new stuff, which is what our studio is going to be. There won't be a single analog element in our studio, I guess, from what I'm told. So, but you know what? That's kind of how you run your computer at home anyway, right?
Yeah.
Computers don't have like auxiliary ins anymore, and
right.
You have to buy something. It's an interface that gets you in, and it's how I'm working right now. So it'll be, but it's going to be very different, very modern, and I'm looking forward to it. We appreciate him.
The interesting thing here is I'm looking through the glass into Davey's booth into the our sister station, Big Frog 104 studio, and their gut has already begun. And it's kind of crazy just to see that big old board that was there probably since they built this building.
Oh, it's already started.
Completely gone. Yeah, so it's just the counters there. I'll take a picture.
Can you tell?
And an LZW, too.
And Davey, when people call in, I'd like to take a few phone calls today, and because we're going to need to do that next week, too. So I think next week I had this idea. I'm going to turn on, I have an old iPhone. I'm going to turn it on, and that'll be our number for the month.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Right? Brilliant.
I like that.
And I tried to get it expensed, so I'm going to take it out in toilet paper. Each day I come in early in the morning, I'll grab another roll of toilet paper.
There you go.
In a good year, I'll have paid off the cell phone bill. But Davey, if somebody wants to come on the air, grab their phone number, get the information to me, I'll call them from here, and we can get them on the air.
Okay.
Okay? And just tell them it's going to come in as a blocked number. So if they can't accept blocked numbers, then I can't call them back.
So another good thing about this, you mentioned that email that we got, all personal belongings have to be out. Your fear of being fired or you're thinking the inevitable is going to happen has allowed you to not accumulate a bunch of stuff, so you're ahead of the game.
Well,
you never bring anything to this.
Yeah, but remember,
studio.
we put in all that camera equipment, all that stuff, all that.
Yeah.
So once this is done, there'll be none of my personal belongings in there, so it'll be easy to get stuff out. All right. Nonetheless, so Monday morning, this all starts for us. Don't think it's going to be a smooth ride. I expect hiccups, but let's cross our fingers. Did you see Richard Lewis died?
I saw a post on
and
the Curb Your Enthusiasm Facebook page. I thought it was just a highlight of the cast. I didn't know he died.
He is on the current season of Curb. Are you watching this season?
No, I
If
haven't
you watched
started it.
last week, it's unbelievable. He just passed away at the age of 78. He had a heart attack, but had just announced that he was giving up stand-up because he was starting to deal with Parkinson's disease.
Oh.
So, and listen, this is a guy who's lived the 80s comedian life, 70s, 80s comedian life. Cocaine, alcohol, all sorts of...
Oh, yeah.
And he was in Robin Hood, Men in Tights, a Mel Brooks movie.
Yep.
Huge on stand-up, et cetera, et cetera. Really awesome. Anyway,
and a staple in Curb Your Enthusiasm. I mean, every season.
Last week's episode, they're golfing. And they got into a fight in the golf cart because Richard Lewis said, I'm putting you in my will. I can't even believe it.
Wow.
I'm putting you in my will. And Larry David's like, no, don't put me in your will. No, I'm putting you, I'm giving everything to you. You're the only friend that I have left, the only person I have left. Everything's going to you. I'm putting you in my will. And
Wow.
and Richard and Larry David's like, no, I know what you're doing. You're putting me in your will, so I put you in mine. And you think you're going to live longer than me. No, I'm going to outlive you, buddy. So all of that went on last week's episode. And Tuesday night, he dies at the age of 76. I believe I have audio here. See if this works and you can hear it. Can you hear it?
No, nothing yet.
Really? How about now? Oh, great. Is this just not going to play? Hold on.
That
I
is
used to sit around the table with all the relatives. They used to put me down in harmony. It was like really an embarrassing thing. You'll never make it. You'll never make it. You know, kind of thing. And I try to relax. You know, I'm back home in L.A. I'm taking a slam dancing course at the Jewish Community Center now.
This is Letterman.
Well, that's good. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
I have a helmet on, like a skull cap helmet, like a batting helmet if I fall.
That's good.
I feel like it's enough to go to doctors with all the money. I had to bring a gold bar last physical. That's how much it cost me, you know? And I don't want to bring that specimen in. I'm embarrassed at home. I put a little hood on when I do it, you know, and I feel the nurses are in this conspiracy. I give them the little jar. She says, is your name on the bottle? I don't know. Your name is Chunky Skippy? I don't know, you know.
Funny guy. Larry David made a statement to USA Today. Richard and I were born 3 days apart in the same hospital, and for most of my life, he's been like a brother to me. He had that rare combination of being the funniest person and also the sweetest. But today, he made me sob. For that, I will never forgive him. Really cool comment from Larry David. I love Larry David, too. I love that show, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry David, of course, is the creator of Seinfeld.
He's the inspiration for your life, really. I mean,
And the inspiration for everything that goes wrong for me, it seems. Because on Curb Your... and it's really not him as a person, but the character on Curb is, you know, everything, it goes wrong. He says the wrong thing always, and it always gets him in trouble. So, you know, but sad that Richard Lewis has passed away.
Loss.
70 Leap Day babies are on a cruise together in the Bahamas.
Good for them.
That's got to be something. So I wonder if there are any Leap Day babies listening right now.
Call in.
Yeah, it's a process, but call in. Eventually, we'll get you on the air. Here's some audio of the Leapers talking about their big cruise. And apparently I can't hit the button with my left hand, Andrew, because I am not good at that. Let's try this.
Sorry.
We have this opportunity. We're going to celebrate a unique birthday with 69 or 70 other people celebrating on the exact same day. So this is fun. This is exciting. There seems to be a similarity of leapers, and I'm starting to see that. They're happier. They're more, I don't know if you'd say aggressive, but they just love life and embrace it a little bit more.
All right. Garth Brooks was at... Was it Garth Brooks, the one at the Turning Stone just recently for MVHS?
Yep.
And
they
Wynn
had a
Hospital?
big gala, and it was a very well-kept, not well-kept secret.
So it was amazing, I heard. It was just Garth Brooks with his guitar up on stage. And one of the songs that he played was Friends in Low Places, of course. Garth Brooks claims that Friends in Low Places was originally supposed to be for George Strait. Here he is talking about it.
I did the demo for it, but we didn't have a record deal at the time. So they were pitching it to Strait. And when we got a record deal, they called us and said, hey, man, Strait's people have passed on this. Would you still be interested in Friends? I said, are you kidding me? Yeah. And but it was a year and a half later before we ever got to cut it because the new record was just out at that point.
All right, there you go. Are you familiar with the theme to Franklin?
I don't think
There's
so.
a big Beyonce story out there. You know, she has a country hit right now. She hit #1 on the country charts.
Beyonce?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Is it Beyonce, Davey?
Yes, Bill, it's Beyonce.
Thank you.
And Trisha Yearwood was there, too, with Garth.
Yes, she was. Why was she with him?
Because they're married to each other.
Okay. I thought
They were married.
It was a cooking show thing or something.
He calls her Miss Yearwood. He doesn't call her Trisha. He calls her every reference he does when they do interviews, Miss Yearwood.
Okay, cool. Very, very cool. All right, thank you for that bit of information there, Davey. Thank you. All right, we have real slippery conditions out there this morning, and depending on where you are, it may be snowing quite heavily. I don't think there's much happening where I am right now, but Richard is saying, get ready, a huge snow squall, I believe he said this, a huge snow squall storm or front is on the way, so get ready for that. News is next.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination. Reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High-impact protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code MUSCLE to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text MUSCLE to 511-511. Text MUSCLE to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. Well, you wonder why I always
celebrate the man in black and his greatest song.
I fell into a burning
Johnny Cash, live on screen.
of a sleeping city sidewalk.
Experience his legendary voice with a live band and singers.
Coming down.
Sunday, March 10th, 7 p.m., presented by Broadway Utica at the Stanley Theater. For tickets, visit BroadwayUtica.org.
WIBX Utica Rome, it is 7 o'clock.
Will the Supreme Court let former President Trump off the hook? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It'll take up his case attempting to get the federal 2020 election-related criminal case thrown out. Arguments are set for April 22nd.
With the justices limiting the question to this: whether and if so, to what extent does a former president enjoy presidential immunity from criminal prosecution for conduct alleged to involve official acts during his tenure in office?
Fox's Shannon Bremer. Ruling may not come until June. That trial was initially set to start next Monday. A judge's ruling in Illinois makes it the third state to remove the Trump name from the primary ballot, claiming he's constitutionally disqualified for leading an insurrection, the Capitol riot. Now, he can appeal that, like he did in Maine, and the Supreme Court's already considering the former president's appeal to a similar ruling in Colorado. Today, dueling Trump-Biden border visits in Texas amid record illegal immigration. The president will be in Brownsville. The former president will go to Eagle Pass, where more migrants have crossed. The White House calls the Trump visit a political stunt. Fox's Jackie Heinrich, press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre on that.
This administration has often criticized Republicans when they go to the border and hold similar press conferences as saying that they're doing publicity stunts and photo ops. So how is this any different?
Oh, it's very different. What House Republicans have done is nothing. Absolutely nothing. If anything, they consistently get in the way.
There's a lot of wildfire ruin in the Texas Panhandle region. More than 1 million acres have burned. 1 woman is dead. Russia's leader is speaking out on his war in Ukraine with a NATO warning.
In a week where France floated the idea of Western troops helping Ukraine's defense, Russian President Vladimir Putin warned, don't they understand the danger of nuclear conflict? He also claimed the United States is trying to inflict strategic defeat on Russia.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, a lot of you know that I learned how to use a firearm when I was 11 years old. I've been practicing my entire life, and people ask me all the time, Hannity, what kind of gun should I get? Well, now I'm telling them, go to Henry Repeating Arms. And I always tell them to start just by going to their website, henryusa.com. You're going to get a free catalog. Now, Henry has over 200 models of rifles and shotguns to choose from. They're made with the finest craftsmanship I've ever seen, and you don't beat their performance. Every one I had was accurate right out of the box and reliable ever since. Their company motto is made in America or not made at all. They have a lifetime warranty, family-owned business, and these folks are true patriots who give back to our military, our vets, our first responders, sick kids, you name it. They support gun safety, and they support our Second Amendment. So if you're in the market for a high-quality, American-made firearm, just go to henryusa.com. You get their free catalog, list of dealers, and free decals, henryusa.com. You'll love this company.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time 7:03. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, it's 18 degrees under cloudy skies in Marcy. To the south, we're going to be seeing quite a bit of snow, possible double-digit accumulation. We've got your full weather forecast in minutes. This update brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Republican Congressman Brandon Williams might have a tough road to re-election due to new maps approved by state lawmakers. Under the newly drawn maps, there will be roughly 31,000 more enrolled Democrats in the 22nd district than there were a few years ago. This new district is made up of all or part of five counties, including the communities of Syracuse, Auburn, and Cortland. Republicans are not planning to challenge the new maps, which have already been signed off on by Governor Hochul. In just a few months, getting from central New York to a popular destination in the Peach State is going to be much easier. Beginning May 17th, Frontier Airlines will offer nonstop flights from Syracuse Hancock International Airport to Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport in Georgia. These flights will operate 3 times during the week. To check out the schedule and to buy a ticket, head to flyfrontier.com. It was a showdown between Democrats and Republicans during the Utica Common Council's special meeting on Wednesday, where tensions were high from disagreements on proposed budget amendments and general meeting procedures. In an effort to reduce the city's proposed 16.5% tax increase, Katie Aiello, First Ward councilor, called a special meeting where 57 budget amendments were submitted to the council, issued by her and sponsored by 4 of the 5 Democrat councilors. Judge Garamone, who is special counsel to the Utica Common Council, suggested adjourning the meeting to allow for more time to review the proposed amendments and avoid violating any open meeting laws. They will convene again for another special meeting to discuss the amendments, which was already scheduled to take place for 7 p.m. on March 5th. We'll speak with Katie Aiello in minutes on First News with Keeler. And a suspect in Memphis who was under police surveillance is in jail after stopping for gas while trying to flee police. DeAndre Rogers had outstanding warrants when he tried to flee police at a high rate of speed before stopping for gas. Rogers was surrounded by police at a Kroger gas station and took off on foot before being arrested in a KFC parking lot on February 21st. Rogers was booked into Shelby County Jail on several charges on Monday. It is 7:05. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, blustery, much colder, lake effect snow, 2 to 4 inches locally, 6 to 10 inches pile up for areas to the south near the Route 20 corridor, a high of 26. Tonight, partly cloudy, not as windy, 17. And tomorrow, breezy, much milder, plenty of sunshine as March comes in like a lamb, a high near 50. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Right now in Marcy, it's 18 degrees, cloudy skies. It's 7:06. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. The Jets are on the verge of parting with a former second overall pick. General Manager Joe Douglas said Wednesday at the Combine. The team has granted quarterback Zach Wilson's agent permission to speak with other teams about a potential trade. Douglas did not say whether Wilson has officially requested one. The 24-year-old was forced back into a starting role after veteran Aaron Rodgers went down with a season-ending injury 4 games into the opener of the season. Sad news for one Major League Baseball team. The Texas Rangers mourning the loss of a longtime coach in the organization. Hector Ortiz died on Wednesday after a long battle with cancer. He was only 54 years old. Ortiz spent the last 3 years as a coach on the minor league development staff after serving under former big league managers Jeff Bannister and Chris Woodward. His career also included stints as the first base coach, bullpen coach, and catching coordinator. The Rangers split their home-and-home against the Blue Jackets after a 4-1 victory at Madison Square Garden. The Islanders wrap up a 2-game road trip tonight as they'll be looking for their second win in a row when they visit Little Caesars Arena for a battle against the Detroit Red Wings. And the Devils continue their 3-game road trip tomorrow night. New Jersey has won 2 of its last 3 games, entering tomorrow night's battle against the Anaheim Ducks at Honda Center. What else do we have for you? Syracuse on a 3-game winning streak. The 19-10 Orange visit Louisville on Saturday night. Spring training resumes for the Yankees when they host the Miami Marlins tonight in Tampa. The Bronx Bombers have won 3 of their first 5 games played. The Yanks continue to be linked to the reigning NL Cy Young winner, according to MLB.com. The Yankees have made an offer to free agent left-hander Blake Snell. The Angels and Giants also interested in signing him. Yankees definitely need pitching. Hopefully they can make it happen. And the Mets earned their 4th straight win of the spring after shutting out the St. Louis Cardinals 3-0 in Port St. Lucie. Pete Alonso went 2 for 2 with a solo homer. Trace Thompson also went 2 for 2 with a solo shot. New York will visit the Houston Astros tonight in West Palm Beach. I want to tell you, I've experienced it myself. Revive soft wave therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. I was just talking to somebody yesterday, and they were going back and forth. Should I do it? I've got an issue where there's bone on bone. There's not any cartilage left in my knee. Should I go? And I said, yes, that's actually something specifically Dr. Tim has told me about. It is a game changer. And if you mention Discovery Day, right? If you mention the discount Discovery Day that you heard about Revive Softwave right here on the Keeler Show from me, you'll get a reduced rate for your initial visit. So make sure when you call them up today at 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427, you mentioned Discovery Day and that you heard it from me here on the Keeler Show. This is a groundbreaking therapy, and you will effectively never be the same in a good way. This non-invasive treatment is free from pills, injections. That means you will not be masking the pain or covering it up. You will actually be healing it. This technology uses high-speed sound waves that stimulate blood flow and stem cells to the area affected and promotes natural healing. So if you've exhausted other options in pursuit of relief, call Revive Softwave Therapy. Don't let pain dictate your life when there's a solution available. Visit ReviveUtica.com. ReviveUtica.com. You can see what the treatment looks like, testimonials from Rob Esch and many more. Rob Esch is a happy patient of Revive Softwave Therapy. You can reclaim a life free from debilitating pain and take that step towards a pain-free future today. That's ReviveUtica.com.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journeys. Nokian tires, all-weather tires, are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow. Just like you, Nokian tires, all-weather products are built for adventure in all conditions.
Does Katie know to call
Forget
you?
the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. When you purchase 4 Nokian tires, you'll get installation, mounting, and balancing absolutely free in the month of February at Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit our stores in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at tolmanstire.com.
Hey there, it's Andrew from WIBX. If you're facing excruciating pain, whether it be carpal tunnel, knee pain, back pain, whatever it is, there is a revolutionary technology that has arrived in Utica. Forget the injections, forget surgery. Try Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. This brand new treatment will help you. It's got a 90% success rate, and it's with Dr. Tim Delmedico. For more information, visit ReviveUtica.com. That's ReviveUtica.com.
Dog parents are loving Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Premium Dog Food.
The way she acts and the way she moves, it's just so much better. And she's like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a freeze-dried raw food made with 0 artificial preservatives, so it's naturally shelf-stable with no mess, freezer, or fridge required. Plus, it's full of premium turkey, beef, salmon, and meat your dog will love.
We started with Nature's Blend. She's happy, she sleeps well, she's energetic. I am just delighted with this product.
When given the choice, Nature's Blend and Amazon's #1 bestseller in dry dog food, 29 out of 30 dogs chose Nature's Blend first.
I am so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
Are you or a loved one dealing with physical issues? Are you about to have a corrective surgery? Be prepared and take the stress out of recovery. Visit Home and Hospital Medical Supply in the new Hartford Shopping Center. From mobility aids to home safety equipment, they carry it all. Whether it's a heating pad for back relief or a knee brace for that sports injury, they now even have light therapy equipment to fight seasonal depression, and your health insurance will cover it. Home and Hospital Medical Supply. Care with convenience.
For a limited time at Mattress Express, qualified buyers will get 60 months to pay on any purchase $1,500 or higher with no money down. That includes all brands of mattresses in the store and massage chairs. See store for details.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Hello, America. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you don't have Consumer Cellular yet, now is the perfect time to switch and save. For a limited time, new customers can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month for your first year. Yep, the same exact nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for $15 a month for an entire year. What are you waiting for? Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and use code radio15.
See consumercellular.com/firstyear15 for promotional details.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. Well, you wonder why I always...
Celebrate the Man in Black and his greatest song.
I'm ready, Andrew, when you're ready.
Johnny Cash, live on screen.
Coming back after this.
Experience his legendary voice with a live band and singers.
Sunday, March 10th, 7 p.m.
5
presented by
seconds.
Broadway Utica at the Stanley Theater. For tickets, visit BroadwayUtica.org.
Hey, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients, and they're the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. I did speak with someone who I would say is a local, I don't want to say local celebrity. We'll see if he brings it up at some point when he's on the air next. But a huge supporter, huge fan of the Falcon Clinic. Because it makes a change in your life. It really, really does. Especially if you need a new family doctor. A lot of times people will go with something that's ailing them, something that they can't seem to figure out. And then by the time they're done, they switch everything over to the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Shemolewski, Dr. Zielinski, very thorough. They do a tremendous job. And they take an osteopathic approach. Dr. Shemolewski was years in the ER. And now, all under one roof, physicians at the Falcon Clinic. Call today, accepting new patients, 315-507-4751.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, Andrew, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a quick update on weather and school closings and all that.
Let me run down through it very quickly.
Make it fast, really fast.
All right, Hamilton College will open at 10 a.m. Herkimer, MV, and Herkimer and MV at 11. Well, they will open. SUNY Morrisville, Utica University open at 10 a.m. And we'll just give you the closures and the 2-hour delays. We won't deal with the no AM BOCES or pre-K stuff. Adirondack on a 2-hour delay. Brookfield, Camden, Central Valley, Cherry Valley, Springfield, Christian Heritage, Clinton Central School on a 2-hour delay. Dalgeville Central Schools on a 2-hour delay. Frankfort Schuyler is closed. Hamilton, Herkimer BOCES, Herkimer Central Schools, Holland Patton, all on a 2-hour delay. Little Falls also on a 2-hour delay with Little Lambs Daycare and Preschool. Madison Central Schools closed. Mohawk Valley Christian Academy, Morrisville, Eaton, Mount Markham on a 2-hour delay. New Hartford and New Hartford Presbyterian Nursery School closed. New York Mills and Notre Dame on a 2-hour delay with OESJ. Oneida, Herkimer, Madison BOCES also on a 2-hour delay. Oneida City Schools closed. We've got Oriskany on a 2-hour delay. O&D Young on a 2-hour delay. Poland Remsen as well. Richfield Springs. Sequoia Valley and St. John the Evangelist Nursery School closed. St. Francis de Sales and Herkimer is on a 2-hour delay. Stockbridge Valley closed. Utica Academy of Science and Utica City Schools, 2-hour delay. VVS, Waterville closed. 2-hour delays in Webb Union, West Canada Valley, Westmoreland, and Whitesboro.
This is ridiculous. This is only the second snowy. There have been a few schools that have had closures, but for the most part, not many. Only the second
They have to
time.
be using the snow days up. I mean, really. I mean, I know that some of the areas to the south. That
They'll use them up. They'll use them up near vacations.
Yeah, but
that's
the
a big
band
difference.
The snow band is very highly concentrated, like you said, localized. So there's some areas that are going to get maybe a dusting and some wind, but some areas are just going to get hammered with snow.
Yeah. All right, let me bring in. We have a lot to talk about today. There's so much going on, from the border to how about Mitch McConnell, Andrew? You need to say I love the Senate more than anything else.
More than anybody else, it's a hard decision to make.
That's really what he said yesterday. So we'll talk about that a little bit, and then of course the local stuff happening, and that includes the city of Utica and this potential 16% tax increase. Councilwoman Katie Aiello on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Thanks for having me.
All right. So, first of all, in a nutshell, tell us what you guys are doing and what you think you'll accomplish.
Yeah, last night we wanted to just introduce legislation that would start the conversations of the potential budget cuts we could make. And it's not just budget cuts, but it's looking at revenues we think that aren't being accounted for in this budget that could be, and to help taxpayers. So it's really looking at a large percentage of that does come from the generated revenue we believe that should be accounted for. And then the other part is going line by line through this budget. We're looking at numbers from past years, looking over the 3-year average and what expenses that we've budgeted for but have never used. And, there were comments made about, well, that's only $5,000. What are you doing? But when you have over 1,000 budget lines, those $5,000 really start to add up. So that's really where we're taking this and just trying to get it into committee, which was part of the struggle last night. So then the whole council can start talking about it and negotiating to see what they think is feasible and how we should move forward. But as of right now, I'm very confident we have literally millions of options to figure out how to decrease the tax from 16.5%.
Have you? I know that some of the areas include revenues that you've not found that have not been attributed for or have not been recognized. My mind is in a cloud today, so I apologize. But there are also areas where you make cuts, and some of those areas include education for EMTs.
I do want to add on that too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you finish. But so one of the things that I think is, I don't want the misconception to be that we are cutting from what people had. Yes, we are cutting from the numbers that Mayor Galimi has proposed, but in all circumstances, none of these numbers drop down to what they've ever spent in the past years or have needed in the past. So we are cutting from this proposal, but it's not dipping down. Nobody is losing what they once had.
Okay.
But we are at a point where we believe it's all these are out there, and we're going to start weighing the options of what we think should be extra funded.
All right. So I'm trying to go through. There are 57 items that I have in front of me here. So I'm trying to find one that I think would be interesting to talk about beyond contracted services, Social Security. That's a small savings. A lot of printing at Corporation Council.
Yes.
You save $1,000, actually $9,000. How are you going to do that? How do you take the printing budget for Corporation Counsel and go from $10,000 to $1,000?
I showed you a spreadsheet. I sent the photo to you, but I can make my spreadsheet live for everyone. But when you look back from 2020 till now, and I asked that during my meeting with them last night, they've only usually spent around $300 or $400 a year, but they've been budgeted for $10,000.
Okay.
And they had that's one of the things that we should revisit. They had 1 year where they had to spend a few $1,000s because they had they had to do a lot of appeals. But then is that something where we really need to allocate the full $10,000 when people are pinching pennies now?
Right.
And we need to look at that.
Okay. So here's another question for you. Are you utilizing, like when you cut from, talk about the things that you'll be cutting from fire, EMT, and police.
Sure. The fire line, it was brought up. I think we have about 12 lines here. And it comes down to about, if we even passed all these, it would be for the fire line $172,000 in savings. That the fire department has about $15.3 million is their budget. So when we're talking about this $170,000, that's 1% of everything that we're even questioning from Galini's proposal. And like I said, in all these instances, we're not cutting stuff to the point of anything less than they've ever had before.
Okay.
But we are looking for every department to do the most with what they do have. I think one of the things that's interesting as we talk about these tax raises is, yes, I know Palmieri also did his tax increase his first year, 18.5%. But when he did that, he also cut services, and the city also had to give sacrifices. It wasn't just the taxpayers. And that's what I really want to be sensitive to. We don't have a budget director right now to sit at that table with us during these budget hearings right now. So that's where we're just really going line by line and dissecting.
And I think that is what, just bear with me and do not take this the wrong way, but that's what people I think are concerned about, is that you are not, and I'm not saying you in particular, but no one on this council is a budget expert. And are you using any experts to guide you? And it sounds like you don't have a budget director, and you guys are doing this on your own.
I think, that's the same way with Mayor Galimi. He's not a budget director himself. And
I understand, but he has, there's a comptroller's office there.
But to that point, I think that's where I wanted to, like in the whole council. And it was said that it was only 4 out of 5 Democrats. That was just a typo. It was all the Democrats are sponsoring these.
Okay.
But the goal was get these all out there early. Yes, we're not budget directors, but you can look at the numbers for since 2020 and say, okay, let's at least start looking at these components. And we're presenting 57, there were a lot more, but we said, let's just focus on the ones that could move the needle for taxpayers. And the idea was to get them to the whole council so we can all start deliberating sooner together.
So when you say you're cutting police, right now, this is a sore subject.
How you say that, because that's not what we said.
Well, but it's because it's a very sore subject right now with all the crime, and certainly with the youth fatalities and murders and all that. It's terrible. By the way, speaking with Councilwoman Katie Aiello, when you're cutting salaries, police administration salaries from by $60,000, is that something that hasn't been filled?
No, that is a lot. Yeah, that's one position. It's our public relations position. That's a vacant spot. So just like the public safety commissioner role, these are all expenses that if they're not filled, we're asking to reallocate the funding either to the rest of the department to cover taxpayer money, or there were some vacant positions completely, and we're saying let's not budget for it yet. But if we have ARPA funds from those, if the role is filled, let's pay them with those funds and not keep the taxpayers on the hook for hundreds of thousands of dollars that we might not need right now.
Let me ask you about police. There's repairs. You say $45,000 in repairs. Okay. The uniform division, so they're not getting new uniforms. You save $273,000 there. It's the police. Sorry, I read that wrong. That's funny. Police uniform division salaries. Again, these are positions not filled.
These are positions not filled that we're requesting. If they are filled, we will use ARPA this year for.
Okay. How much ARPA money is left over?
It's I think about a little less than $1 million. I know with the police relations one that came with a certain number of ARPA already. So with that role no longer there, I don't know what the future of that holds. But if we're in a year where we're raising taxes by 16.5%, I think we need to get creative with how it gets spent to stretch every dollar.
Police Criminal Investigation Division. It looks like maybe you save a position, $93,000.
Yep, that's another one. So there were 4 positions that are completely vacant through the police station. And those are the ones that it totals about $400,000. $366,000
And then on police cuts, night differential. Can you explain that?
Yep, that was just another one where we never went over the requested that they were looking for, and it's never gone over $50,000 in years past, but it is still higher than what they've requested. It is still higher than what they budgeted for even last year, because I know expenses are going up, so we're not trying to just. The same thing you paid for in 2022 is not the same thing you're paying for today.
Right.
But it's still just trying to overcorrect this flight a bit is what we're trying to look at.
And this would lower the tax increase to about 7%.
This with all the proposals we have here, it's actually 0.7%.
Oh, okay.
And that's not even that's one option, but we also need to be very mindful of the general fund balance. So this is just to put it in context for people, because for every $320,000 we spend, that's a 1% tax savings. And that's our goal. We definitely want to decrease this tax number, but we also need to make sure we are replenishing that general fund in ways too, and be mindful of that.
I see you're saving $10,000 on custodial supplies. What are you going to buy the supplies at Dollar General instead of going to Hannaford?
Yeah, exactly. No, that was actually one of the interesting ones where it looked completely over budgeted, but getting to talk with the chiefs last night, they combined the custodial supplies in one line this year. And that was something we couldn't tell from that. So the budget hearings are good for this. So that's probably going to be one of them that we don't consider.
I do want to ask you on the ARPA funding, explain how that can be used. So $1 million left over. How can that be used going towards salaries? Does that fit into the? Have they? I think they've lowered the restrictions a little bit, haven't they?
I think it comes in the form of just for safety specifically. I know we used it for a lot of the youth and gun violence and body-worn cameras. So for police, I think there's that wiggle room because we've done it before with that.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. Sam,
I'd like to.
Can I throw this and then you can get back? I have somebody with a question. Sam, if they pay people with ARPA funds, take them out of the budget, how will they pay for people once the ARPA funds are gone? If they eliminate the fund balances throughout all the budget codes, but then emergency expenses run for seeing expenses occur, how will they be paid for? Will the diminishment of these funds in the budget harm the city's cash flow and ultimately credit rating? And if they drive the budget spent down to zero, what will you have when it comes to the fund balance to start next year when costs are even higher? Good question.
There's a lot of questions in that. And so, let's take the police part of this for one example. Part of this is also, this illustrates to us that we can make cuts, because I've been told we absolutely can't make cuts. It was the last administration that overspent and we're in the worst times of our lives. When I go through this budget, these numbers don't say that. And that's the point of this. So I agree. Okay. You don't
Well, how did we go from a surplus to this, I guess?
Well, let me answer the first part of this question, though, because with the police part, I agree. You don't want to plug budget holes with these one-time fees all the time. That was one example of how we could do this. But even if we take out, let's leave all the salaries as is and always budget for that. That brings this 0.7% proposal we have up to 2.7%. That's still pretty palatable. One of the things that I think we really need to look at.
So you admit that this is a starting point?
Completely.
Okay.
Yeah. And I want to see all their starting points. Let's put all the cards on the table and figure this out.
Can I also ask you? I realize this also proposes cuts in the Parks Department, and it amazes me though that with ARPA funding we added parks, we added more maintenance when there are areas of the city that are run down and need help. Don't you feel like the ARPA money was really wasted? There was a lot of money there.
I think the budget keeps getting confused with ARPA, and on one hand, this is what's
you
funny
could
to
have.
me.
I mean, you've already said there's a way to use ARPA funding. You can get creative
for this year.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
Then,
you can move something over here, use ARPA funding for something that applies, and take that money. And there are things you can do and be
then
creative.
when we present that, what was the immediate criticism is that, well, we're just plugging a budget hole that we can't take care of year after year. So that's where, no, I don't think ARPA was wasted.
That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about making improvements to other, and then options. Instead of building a new skateboard park or a dog park, why not fix the other parks that need upgrades badly right now? And you're trying to fix those, and now you're in a situation where you have to cut that department. I just feel like it doesn't make any sense.
No, Bill, stop saying we're cutting
You're
departments.
not cutting.
We're not cutting
No
anything
cutting.
that currently exists.
Okay.
Galini put forth tons of other expenses.
Okay.
I understand he probably has a vision for, we do have more parks maintenance. So what is that? Do we need all 4 seasonal employees to cover that?
So let me just ask this. So you support the way the ARPA funding was divvied out and the way it was spent?
Yeah, but I think we also have a complete misunderstanding here of how it was spent. I think people, we talk about skate parks and all that, but that drives people to come here. That's tourist dollars. That increases our sales tax. These are all components that do have a benefit on the city long term in ways that even if you don't skateboard.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to be thinking of. And, I think it was, so you had about $20 million on parks, but it also $10 million went to affordable housing. You had millions of dollars go to the fire department, whether it was their refurbished trucks or it was HVAC systems and repairs. And it was spent on more things than we just talk about. And I feel like we only talk about 2% of it.
Well, it was a lot of money. And then let's just be honest. Let's look from the headline standpoint. A lot surplus, zero tax increase once again. ARPA funding, huge. Now we're in a deficit.
Well, so here's the thing.
I'm just trying to say that's what it looks like. You can't escape that. That's what it looks like. Sam,
well, and that's what started me on this journey with a spreadsheet, though. This is what I started looking at.
All right, I'll go back. I'll go back to the spreadsheet in a second. Sam says you could not answer a single question that he asked.
Okay, you guys also sent like 6 different questions. Sam,
well, let me
if
do
you
this
want to
one.
email me that,
If
we can go through them all one at a time.
If you pay people with ARPA funds,
yep.
How are you going to do it when the ARPA funds are gone? What are you going to do next year?
Then I think we need reasonable tax increases year after year. But let's just try to get people into a position where it's not 16.5 right off the bat.
If you eliminate the fund balance throughout all the budget codes, but then emergency expenses run for seeing expenses occur.
Who's eliminating the fund balance?
How will they be paid for?
I said we were trying to replenish the fund balance.
Okay, all right. I guess the point that I believe Sam is making is, without a budget director, you have a group of well-meaning people that have no long-term budget strategy, and I don't know how you move forward from there.
Well, I like I said, I think the same could be said about how we got to 16.5%. So I think it's all the information is here for us.
And you don't think that Paul Mary and the council hold some responsibility there?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And this is what I want to answer this part.
Okay.
Though. When looking at, we're told all of the deficit that we're in for the past 2 years. So I started the spreadsheet of just looking back to say, what department overspent? Where did that come from? And from our actual budgetary expenses, a lot of it actually came in under budget for these different departments that we have the authority and we're looking over. So whatever happened with ARPA, I don't know. But when it comes to our actual city budget right now, I think we have the resources to absolutely get these taxes down.
I'm going to do one more. Joe says, how can you, and I know you'll go through the roof on this, but how can they cut the Parks Department Go ahead. We're not cutting the Parks Department. Okay.
We're not cutting anything.
I expected you to say that. How can you cut from the Parks Department when the present staff can't even keep the grass cut at Proctor Park and other parks? You've seen it. It's like we do one. I should do this at my house. We're going to do one mowing of the lawn once a year, and it's just before the Boilermaker.
Sure. So with that, of all the parks, I mean, if you want to say cuts from Galeni's proposal, let's say we take that out of this, that is a 0.5% that we can put back. So all of a sudden, we're at 1.5%. So if we want to concede on that point, we can. We still have another 13% of options we can look to decrease taxes or replenish the fund balance.
Okay. Anything else that I have prevented you from saying that you want to say?
No, it's, I think the revenue side is more interesting. That's actually where the revenues we're adding to this is almost 10%, whereas any of the tightening of the budget we're doing is about 5% of that.
But these are projected revenues.
Yeah, well, one of the is, with the cannabis excess tax, we are now going to get 3% of that tax directly to the city of Utica. So that's something not being accounted for. There's about another 100,000 we believe we could do in building permits. We also have a vacant properties registry we have never implemented as a city, and that's an easy $150,000 we can start getting in revenue. So this is stuff that I think the city is hopeful for. It is still growing, and just really looking forward to working with the entire council to figure out what the best option is for Uticans. But
all right, okay,
we're getting all. Yeah, and if anybody wants to see more of the information I have, happy to share it.
Okay, we'll do this again. And I it was hard for me to get into your spreadsheet because I got it like a minute before you came on the air. So,
that's fine.
I just didn't have a chance to look at it. So, okay, well, let's do this again. This is going to be. Listen, if this is accurate and these are viable and they don't hurt, this is big. Would you say?
Yeah, no, and that's just it. I think we definitely have ways to cut it. That's all this illustrates starting now. So.
Okay, and I think we heard that from Celeste's friend the other day. Okay, thank you, Katie, and let's do it again.
Have a good day, guys.
You do the same. Thank you. Okay, Andrew.
Bill, it's interesting. You got the spreadsheet in the same amount of time that the rest of the council people got their budget amendments.
Okay,
it's kind of funny.
Well, I have the amendments and the spreadsheet, so. If any members of the council would like them, just reach out to me. I'll send it over. I won't. I will. I don't know. Katie would have to say that's okay to do, but we have it. I can post it. Maybe we'll just post it. One more from Sam. The nickel and dime isn't going to work. 0.5% here, 0.5% there. Will anybody go out and get a hamburger with the percent they save? The city is in big trouble. They have got a bigger problem than this. They need a better budget. That's Sam. And not Samantha Colosimo Testa. Sam the male. Okay? All right, Andrew, you're telling me I'm way behind.
Yes, we do have to get to Coach Heenan, so if you'll call him for
a
quick break.
We're gonna do Coach Heenan. We're going to do Sheriff Mashel quickly. I'm going to move the free money question. We'll try to do it in the 8 o'clock hour. We're way overbooked, and I apologize. But these questions have to be asked.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Andrew, wake up.
How
Wake
much
up.
longer are we going to kick the can down the road in Utica?
That is a good question. All right, it's 7:39 at WIBX.
At Destination Kia of Utica, you can keep your tax return
with no money down leases on over 400 new Kias.
Like a new 2024 Kia Forte LXS that gets 39 miles per gallon highway for only $348 a month for 36 months.
With zero down, zero due at inception, and sales tax included.
So keep your tax return and drive out in a new, fuel-efficient 2024 Kia Forte.
And that's just one example of the deals on over 400 new Kias.
Only at the family-owned and operated Destination Kia of Utica.
Now that's kooky. So go kooky for Kia at the all-new Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
Stock number 24F0314. MSRP $21,940. 36 months, 33,000 mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. $0 due in inception. $0 security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 700 plus FICO score. EPA ratings. Prior orders excluded. Offer expires 2/29/24.
got a
Over
team
$6 billion
that's
in
These
tax
guys are
refunds
good.
were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft
They're
in
good.
2023. If you're
They're
into buying
young,
this tax
but they're
season,
good.
LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based
They're fun to
restoration
watch.
specialists
And
are
they like
dedicated
to,
to helping
you
solve
know,
identity theft issues,
start out slow
and
and
all plans are
turn it
backed
into a
by the
game,
$1 Million Protection Package.
All right, stand
which
by.
means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will
do you get your
reimburse you
screen
to the
share?
limits
All right,
of
I'm
your
ready.
plan. Go to lifelock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, head coach Gary Heenan is with us right now. Of course, a big weekend coming up. Gary, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
All right, so here we go. UCHC finals this weekend. Stevenson. This is a team that you guys played early on, but I feel like you guys are a much better team now than you were back at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it was our first league weekend back in October, and they beat us in a shootout. The next night, we got them with an empty net goal, 5-2. But with our youth and how young we are, I hope we're a much better team than we were back then. They're certainly the team I thought would be the favorite going into the year, and we finished 1-2 in almost every statistical category. They beat us by a hair in goaltending, and they do have an All-American scorer, number 91, McCanny, who's pretty prolific. So it should be a really good hockey game. I like the way we're trending. I didn't love us for about a month there.
Yeah.
Season seemed to be getting long for our young group, but I thought our last game, we showed some flair, some energy, some jump, some compete, some battle, and I thought it was one of our better performances of the year. So hopefully we can carry that over and win another championship at home, which our fans have been accustomed to as of late.
So I got to tell you, I watched the game okay, you good? I watched the game very intently. My wife, so we have a plan. She watches you the whole game. So I just know this. Every time I look out of the corner of my eye, it's like, what the frick are you doing? Anyway, her comment about you is you're much more calm this year. What's going on? Is it true, or is it just her impression maybe wrong?
No, I think two things have happened, right? Like through your career, you kind of been there, done that, and you do take things better and you mature. I think I matured at probably a slower rate than most.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah, and it is a young group, so it's a lot more, rubbing the backs than getting frustrated with a senior that, maybe has made the mistake 4 years in a row that you can get frustrated with. But these guys have been very good. They've been coachable. They have progressed. We have gotten a lot better. Do we make mistakes? We still do. Of course we do. But we bust, we bust it when we don't. We really work our tails off to recover. And so I'll give the group credit. We've come a long way. I still think we've gotten some puck luck and been on the right side of that luck to be where we are. But hopefully that luck continues and we can finish and do something special here.
All right, I know you're going to be on the ice in a second. That was really cool the other night in outdoor practice.
Yeah, well, it unfortunately the 70-degree weather kind of spoiled that for us. So hopefully this week it gets cold and we can do that right. But if anybody hasn't seen that rink up there by the ski hill there on the Parkway, they did a great job, and it's not complete around it, but the surface is awesome. The board's all the way around, and it's been jammed on the cold days. It's been getting used.
The very few cold days that we've had. Today will be one of them. Really cold. So, and then finally, what'd you have? 8 players named. You were coach of the year. This was a big announcement on Tuesday.
Yeah, we did pretty well in the all-conference selections. Our captain, Brian Scoville, defenseman, who leads us in scoring, not sure that's ever happened, got player of the year and defensive player of the year. And he's really been the catalyst this year. I mean, he's been putting this young team on his back and doing it right. So he's fun to watch. A number of guys got all-conference. We did have the rookie of the year in Eric Vitale. And there's an all-tournament team that'll be announced this Saturday, and of course the winning team will get the majority of that. So, we've motivated our guys that didn't make any of those teams to hopefully get on those teams this weekend, and it should be a fun weekend at the Odd. I mean, if you look at the Odd map, it's filling up quick. So we're excited to be here at home and play a very good opponent. And as you know, the automatic bid, the NCAA is on the line, and that's one we'd love to have.
Love it. Ranked number 2 going into the weekend. Gary, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Great job. All right, head coach Gary Heenan. All right, Andrew, coming up, we're going to speak with Frank Policelli on the Caitlin Connolly case. But before that, I want to talk to Sheriff Rob Mashel. So I want you, just if you could, explain to people how they can get tickets and then pop me down so we don't have to listen to this. All right, ready? Go.
He's not here.
Oh, where'd he go?
He stepped out.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're just going to do it this way. Da-da-da-da. He stepped out.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Sheriff. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Sheriff Rob Mashel with us right now. I just wanted to do a quick tease. It sounds like you're out working this morning.
Just got done. Just got done and headed in the house to get ready to head to the office.
So tomorrow is the Radiothon, Heart Run and Walk Radiothon, and you are one of the premier members of the Treadmill Challenge, and it's been year after year, you versus Paul Mary, and a lot of trash talk, but it's going to change this year.
It is. I'm pretty excited. As you know, the past several years, Mayor Paul Mary and I have always been the big, the teams who have brought most of the money in as far as the other local teams. And it's because of the trash talk, I think. I mean, obviously, we were good friends, and we trash talked a lot. I've challenged the new mayor, Mayor Galimi, to since following tradition that the sheriff faces off against the mayor of Utica. He graciously accepted the challenge. I think he's telling everybody that he's going to beat me. But as you know, I certainly am a fighter. So I plan on winning as I've won in the years past as far as raising money goes. So I'm happy that the new mayor's accepted my challenge. And I also look forward to raising more money than him. So to keep the tradition going.
So he doesn't seem to be the trash talker that Paul Mary was, though.
No, I'm hopefully maybe between you and I, if we both gang up on him, we can see another side of him that we haven't seen yet.
We'll hit him hard. I like it. So
no, I'm excited. It's all for a great cause, and like I said, just getting to know the mayor, and like I said, I look forward to tomorrow because it's all about raising funds for the American Heart Association. Hopefully we can have a little fun in there. I promise I won't bring up the budget at all. We'll stay off that topic just so that we can focus on raising money. And we're going to need the help from the listeners, and that's the most important part.
I wanted to offer you one line.
Sure.
And that is, right about 10 minutes in, you need to, on mic, yell over to Galimi and say, it looks like, Mike, you're getting a little taxed.
I like it. I like it.
I think it'll hit a nerve. That might get him going. So,
and I'm graciously accepting any donations ahead of time. You can go right on my Facebook page. We'll have it up shortly. The link for the American Heart Association for our challenge. And like I said, hopefully the sheriff can once again prevail, as I always have, over the other mayor. Even though if he was on the line, he'd be yelling at me right now. But that's okay. And hopefully, like I said, like at the end of the day, it's all about raising money for a great cause.
Yep. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see you there. What time are you on, by the way?
I'll be on the treadmill at 10 o'clock,
Okay.
and I know there's a bunch of other people coming in. So anybody out there, please don't give to the other teams. Give to our team. That way we can carry on the tradition that the sheriff and the mayor of Utica once again would raise the most money out of the other teams. So that's our goal.
Love it.
Sounds great.
Sheriff, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. As always, we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, Andrew. So that's tomorrow.
Yeah, hard to believe.
Listen, pop me down as you talk about this. This treadmill challenge is really a premier event tomorrow during the radiothon. People are really competitive.
Yeah, it's been a long-standing tradition now. It's hard to. I think it was. I was part of the committee when it was. There's always a different story as to how it got started, but I was at least on the committee when it got started, and it really has grown. And we've seen some huge numbers, some great moments, some friendly rivalries. Some got a little bit contentious at times, but people are competitive, as you know. But it's always a good time. So you can always donate ahead of time in honor of one of the participants to the Heart Radiothon and their treadmill efforts. Or you can this is the beauty of tomorrow, is that you can stop down and actually be there and donate live and in person and cheer on your favorite treadmill challenge participant. So very exciting.
Love it. That's tomorrow. We will all be over there in the Clark Center, the gymnasium at Utica University. Okay, let me switch gears. We're squeezing a lot into this 7 o'clock hour.
Yeah, we are.
On the line right now is Frank Policelli. He was one of the attorneys who represented Caitlin Connolly, and then they asked for her verdict to be vacated. She has another attorney, and very critical of Policelli and Pelley, the two attorneys that in separate cases represented her. The judge was having none of it. Frank Policelli, good morning.
Good morning.
So what happened? First of all, the judge really made it seem like, I can't believe you even brought this case. Right?
Okay. Let me try to, I know you don't have much time. I could make this very short, sweet, and to the point. Okay?
Love it. Okay.
Okay, she was indicted for murder. She has a trial. She gets a hung jury. They don't ask for the lesser included of manslaughter. The hung jury is not a conviction, so you can't vacate a hung jury because the only time you could get post-conviction relief on what's called a 440-10 motion if there was a conviction. There was never a conviction after the first trial, okay? So that was ridiculous to begin with. Now, as far as the second trial was concerned, she was acquitted of murder. Everybody seems to forget about that. And the jury compromised on a manslaughter charge. But here's the thing, okay? When they appealed it, they doomed themselves for any further post-conviction relief. Why? I'll tell you why. This case was an entirely circumstantial evidence case, okay?
Yep.
So when I got the case, the whole case stemmed on Conley giving 3 statements to the police where she basically says that her ex-boyfriend, Adam, who was pretty much disturbed, put this pill in his mother's pill organizer for whatever reasons and caused her death, okay? So you got to corroborate what she says is true. That was the whole case. So I had her take a polygraph test, and she passed it with flying colors. Now, obviously, the polygraph is not admissible evidence in New York State. However, in many federal courts, it is admissible, all right? So she's convicted. Okay, I'm not going to get into why the jury convicted her. That's a whole bunch of speculation right there, okay?
Right.
But she was convicted of manslaughter. People were hung up. They wanted to get out of the building, so they compromised, okay? Now you do an appeal. The first lawyer she gets to do the appeal is John Sarando, who is the most experienced appellate lawyer in the state of New York. He's had more cases in the Court of Appeals than any other lawyer. They weren't happy with him. Okay, fine. Then they get a very inexperienced lawyer to do the appeal who never raises the issue of the polygraph and never makes a weight of the credible evidence argument to the appellate division. Why is that important? Here's why. when you make a weight of the credible evidence argument to the appellate division, they sit as a 13th juror. But what do they have that the trial jury did not have? They know that she passed a polygraph, okay?
Right.
Whether they say that it's admissible or not doesn't matter because they already know that they can't get that out of their minds, okay?
Yep.
So they could decide whether she's actually innocent because there was insufficient evidence as they sit as a 13th juror based on the circumstantial evidence. Now, let's suppose they deny that appeal. Now, at least she could seek post-conviction relief in federal court on what we call a 2254 petition on a writ of habeas corpus because she's actually innocent, because of the fact that, never mind about search and seizure, that gets you nowhere, okay?
Right.
In order to win post-conviction relief, you have to show you're actually innocent. And of course, that's been limited by your favorite Judge Thomas in the Supreme Court recently, who says, even if you're actually innocent, you still can't bring a writ of habeas corpus if you're procedurally barred. So now they abandoned the whole polygraph issue, which you have a better chance of winning in federal court than you do in state court anyway, and she's screwed.
Yeah. And even weren't they really going after the strategy that the attorneys took, you and Pelly? And isn't that a very difficult argument to make?
I suppose so. I mean, I really don't pay much attention to the first trial because the first trial was a nullity. It was completely irrelevant.
Yeah. I feel like in reading the decision from Judge Dwyer, and I know you guys may be on opposite sides, right? Well, technically you are. The judge is always in control.
We're not on opposite sides. Judge Dwyer is a very experienced judge. He's a trial lawyer. I tried cases with him when he was in the DA's office. We've known each other for 40 years. Yes, we've had some disagreements because that's what lawyering is all about. But he knows what he's doing, okay?
Well, I didn't mean to make it seem like it's adversarial. I'm just saying there's the judge and then there are the attorneys, so they're two different sides. That's all I'm saying. But I did want to say, based on the decision that he wrote, very complimentary to both you and Attorney Pelly.
Well, yeah, we did our jobs.
Okay, simple as that. And you did it in a nutshell. I got to say, it's a big nut, but you did it in a nutshell, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, this case is 7 years old now?
Yeah, I know.
And it's sad because, unfortunately, if she had good lawyering in the post-conviction relief arguments and her appeals, she would still have a chance to get out of jail. Yeah. But now, because she abandoned the arguments it's what you don't know that hurts you the most. They say, well, you can't admit the polygraph. But I got to tell you, I've had trials with judges where my client passed the polygraph and I waived the jury because I know the judge knows that this person passed the polygraph, whether it's admissible or not.
Right.
And it affects how they look at the case.
All right. Frank Policelli, as always, love having you on. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
And by the way, we got to get you back because there's so much nationally to talk about. I would love your take on all of this. So we'll do it.
Sure, no problem.
We'll do it soon. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great day. Frank Policelli. All right, Andrew, we have news coming up. I'm trying to look at my watch, and, oh, yeah, it is coming up.
It's coming up.
This clock over here isn't working, and this one over here is slow, which means news is next.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Another state plans to take the Trump name off the ballot. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Illinois joins Maine and Colorado with a judge's ruling that the former president could appeal like he has in other cases.
The U.S. Supreme Court's already heard arguments from Colorado about a similar claim. The controversy centers on the 14th Amendment, which bars anyone from serving as an officer of the U.S. if they engaged in insurrection or rebellion. Lawyers for the former president have argued the amendment doesn't apply in this case.
Fox's Jill Nato. The Supreme Court will hear another Trump appeal April 22nd. considering his claim that he should be immune from prosecution for actions he took while in office. This is an attempt to get the federal 2020 election-related criminal case against him dismissed. With the border a big election issue, there will be dueling Trump-Biden border visits going today, both of them. The president will be in Brownsville, where Fox's Lawrence Jones is.
You know, the big question for the president of the United States, why this location? I mean, I was here a year ago when there was an actual surge going on. Now we're down to about 15 to 17 migrants crossing illegally a day.
That's in that area. The Trump trip is to Eagle Pass, where there are more illegal crossings, but the White House calls his visit a political stunt. Fox's Sean Hannity will interview the former president in Texas at 9 p.m. Eastern on Fox News Channel. Chaos and more death in Gaza. Israel saying a crowd of Palestinians waiting for food and other humanitarian aid turned into a stampede and attempted looting, and their soldiers opened fire. Palestinian officials say more than 100 people were killed, bringing the number of Palestinian deaths in the war in Gaza to over 30,000.
The developments inside Gaza come as talks for a possible ceasefire continue. And U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said in a statement, quote, "The most
For one, it's very
important
easy to
thing
get
when this conflict in
around.
Gaza
Our
comes to an
locations
end
for the past
is
2
to
weeks
end
have
this
been
cycle
within
of violence
farm
once
at the
and for all."
most.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. A police officer in Washington, D.C. was shot. People in the area of the Naval Yard urged to shelter in place as the search continues for the shooter. America's listening to Fox News.
You know, our friends at Henry Repeating Arms, they manufacture a line of very high-quality rifles, shotguns, and revolvers that you can be very proud to own. Now, they're made in America with parts and materials also from America. Now, they use old-world craftsmanship combined with cutting-edge technology to deliver reliable and accuracy that you can trust in any situation. Now, they're easy to use and maintain. It makes them an excellent choice for both a novice and experienced shooter. Henry has over 200 models, so you can find the firearm that's right for you. There's also new releases all throughout the year. And every purchase is backed by their lifetime warranty and the company's owner. Anthony Imperato also gives his personal guarantee for 100% satisfaction. Now, make sure you go to their website, henryusa.com, order their free catalog. They'll send you free decals and a list of dealers where you are. That's henryusa.com. Free catalog, free decals, and a list of dealers where you are. You're going to love this company and these firearms like I do.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 8:03. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now, it is 18 degrees under cloudy skies in Marcy. Some of the southern parts of the county getting hammered by snow or will. We've got a lake effect snow warning in effect until 7 p.m. Your full forecast on the way. Republican Congressman Brandon Williams might have a tough road to re-election due to the new maps approved by state lawmakers. Under the newly drawn maps, there will be roughly 31,000 more enrolled Democrats in the 22nd District than there were a few years ago. This new district is made up of all or part of 5 counties, including the communities of Syracuse, Auburn, and Cortland. Republicans are not planning to challenge the new maps, which have already been signed off on by Governor Hochul. There was some drama in City Hall last night as it was a showdown between Dems and Republicans during the Utica Common Council special meeting, where tensions were high from disagreements on proposed budget amendments and general meeting procedures. In an effort to reduce the city's proposed 16.5% tax increase, Katie Aiello, who is the first ward councilor, called a special meeting where 57 budget amendments were submitted to the council, issued by her and sponsored by all 5 Democrat councilors. Judge Garamone, special counsel to the Utica Common Council, suggested adjourning the meeting to allow for more time to review the proposed amendments and avoid violating open meeting laws. They will have a new meeting on March 5th at 7 p.m. St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner, and a popular beverage will be appearing on store shelves. Burn Dairy says folks will be able to get their hands on Irish mint milk, which is made of whole milk, sugar, mint flavoring, and green dye. Last year, the company sold approximately 18,000 gallons of this milk. While people love the mint milk, there are no plans to offer it throughout the year. And a Willy Wonka-inspired experience is garnering attention and outrage online after police were called to the event in Glasgow, Scotland. Families at the event paid $44 per ticket for optical marvels and extraordinary props. Instead, they were offered a sparsely decorated warehouse and a small cup of lemonade. The lemonade offering became limeade as supplies ran out. Attendees became so angry that police were called. One of the actors, Paul Connell, said the crowds outside were furious. WIBX 950 News Time 8:05. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Adirondack Home Furniture.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, blustery, much colder, lake effect snow, 2 to 4 inches locally, 6 to 10 inches pile up for areas to the south near the Route 20 corridor, a high of 26. Tonight, partly cloudy, not as windy, 17. And tomorrow, breezy, much milder, plenty of sunshine as March comes in like a lamb, a high near 50. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Right now, 18 degrees under cloudy skies in Marcy. It is 8:06. The Jets are on the verge of parting ways with a former second overall pick. General Manager Joe Douglas said Wednesday at the Combine that the team has granted quarterback Zach Wilson's agent permission to speak with other teams about a potential trade. Douglas did not say whether Wilson officially requested that trade. To the NHL, the Rangers split their home-and-home against the Blue Jackets after a 4-1 victory at Madison Square Garden. The Islanders wrap up a 2-game road trip tonight. The Isles will be looking for their second win in a row when they visit Little Caesars Arena to battle the Detroit Red Wings. The NBA is turning down the Knicks' dispute of their 105-103 loss to the Rockets on February 12th. The league denied the game protest filed by the Knicks, citing concerns about the validity of the last-second foul call that made the scoring difference. The league stated in a release that since the foul call at issue reflected an error in judgment and not a misapplication of the playing rules, a game protest was not warranted. Knicks guard Jalen Brunson was incorrectly called for a foul with 0.3 seconds remaining, leading to the Rockets taking the lead and playing out the clock. New York is second in the Atlantic Division at 35-24 and will host the Golden State Warriors tonight. Meanwhile, the Mets in Major League Baseball earned their fourth straight win of the spring training series after shutting out the Cardinals 3-0 in Port St. Lucie. And spring training resumes for the Yankees when they host the Miami Marlins tonight in Tampa. The Bronx Bombers have won 3 of their first 5 games played. The Yanks continue to be linked to reigning NL Cy Young winner. According to MLB.com, the Yanks have made an offer to free agent left-hander Blake Snell. The Angels and Giants also are interested in signing him. We will see what comes of that. And, Bill, we have a special guest in studio right now, looking sharp as ever. Oh, I guess we'll take a break, and then we'll get to Buckley here. So Paul Buckley is the special guest, and we will be back shortly. Quick break here. First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Inserras. Log on to their website at InserrasFlooringOutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Inserras Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. It's selection, it's price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, InserrasFlooringOutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Inserras Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Pure Talk believes in American values and that free should mean exactly that, free. Well, switch to Pure Talk today and you'll get a free Samsung 5G smartphone. Now, qualifying plans start at just $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, and, of course, mobile hotspot. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Pure Talk, claim your eligibility for your free brand new Samsung 5G smartphone. Start saving on wireless today and switch to my cell phone company, Pure Talk.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journeys. Nokian tires, all-weather tires, are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow. Just like you, Nokian tires' all-weather products are built for adventure in all conditions. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. When you purchase 4 Nokian tires, you'll get installation, mounting, and balancing absolutely free in the month of February at Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit our stores in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at tolmanstire.com.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Yes, I'm coming. And we're back. And we're back. Good morning. All right. You have a special guest in studio, I heard.
A very special, very special. He's looking sharp as ever, as always. Mr. Paul Buckley is in studio.
You know, I got to tell you, Paul, you sometimes, when you really dress up, you remind me of Colonel Sanders.
Well, I think because I'm figure looking good.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure I can answer
awesome.
that, but
oh boy,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the it's not suspenders, it's stays, right? There's a big difference, right?
No,
that you usually have.
It's just a regular button-down shirt. Nothing.
No, I'm saying when you wear your
They're braces. They're called
yeah
braces.
braces, yeah.
Braces. The suspenders.
oh, they're
Been wearing
not.
those for
They're
years.
not. They're not called suspenders.
Well, they're called braces properly, but
Yeah, right.
People.
I did
people
not know that.
That aren't in the know, that aren't in the fashion world, call them suspenders.
I had no idea.
Braces basically is a snobbish way of saying suspenders.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Okay, so there you go. So anyway,
As a kid, they almost wanted to put suspenders on my teeth. I was not happy.
Wow.
My teeth are pretty straight. Braces, suspenders. No.
Yeah.
I don't have the rim shot, Bill. Sorry.
Yeah, just didn't go very far. All right, so we let's talk about the upcoming show, and then I want to get into something I found on YouTube on you.
Okay, well, I just put the segments up online yesterday. So
Okay.
it's all about the
Maybe this is one of the segments I found.
Well, yeah, because I called you last night. I said, do your
Okay,
homework.
all right, for
So
God's
it was the making of the Christmas letter from day one, and I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, a lot of hours. I mean, there were some nights I was getting home at 1 o'clock in the morning, and so. I mean, it's a young kid's gig. I mean, these kids are up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, to 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, and I couldn't hang with them. So I just got what I could. Did the documenting of the making of the movie. Got some tips in there from filmmakers. So anybody who's interested in making films, check out the show on Sunday because there are some really good tips given by the cinematographer Chase.
Can I play a little bit of it?
You can, of course.
I think I have it.
And this is on City Limits this Sunday at what time?
Sunday at noon on Channel 7 and then Channel 12 at 7.
All right,
so 12 at 7, 7 and 12.
Ah, beautiful.
Let's see if this works. Here we go.
I would recommend Utica as a filming location. For one, it's very easy to get around. All our locations for the past 2 weeks have been within 5, at the most, 10 minutes drive away from where we're staying. So that's a huge benefit. It makes for shorter days, makes for a happier crew. There's not much traffic, so we can get around. And also there's a high density of quality locations within a couple blocks. Utica Theater, the Skylar Club, Utica Hotel, various churches that we've needed, exterior locations, different streets that look like different cities. We found one street that looks like Manhattan. Also, it feels great to be welcomed here. And so I would absolutely recommend other filmmakers to consider Utica to shoot in, because it's like having a whole back lot at our disposal with the support and all we need. But better than a back lot is real places, real locations, which always looks better.
How about that? That was explain.
Bowen,
that was
right?
What was his name again?
Chase Bowen.
I'm really excited to see this movie.
He's a cinematographer, and he's brilliant. The guy is he teaches cinematography and movie production.
Okay.
He lives in Prague.
Yeah.
He's from the United States, but he lives in Prague. They pull him over from Prague for this movie, and the guy just knows his stuff. And he's got a crew of like maybe 3 or 4 guys setting up his camera. He just comes in, puts his eyeball in there, and he goes. And he's very efficient, very, very, very professional. I was in awe when he spoke. I shut up.
When's the movie supposed to be released?
They want to do a premiere next year at the Stanley next Christmas.
Well, it would be perfect,
done,
right? I mean, it needs to be Christmas
it's in post
time
right now.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, it does.
We have some amazing people around here. So it's, from your brother to the guy that does the is it Mucinex commercial?
Yes.
To the guy,
yes. Yep.
There's a producer here that is a cameraman for Dateline. His son is a great piano player. We have him on the air. So
exactly
to Rainbow. Rainbow. We've got
Rainbow. We got Rainbow, who's just amazing.
Whatever happened to Cowboy? The
Cowboy's still around, I think.
Did he ride off into the sunset?
We were the victim of a death hoax with him.
I got to tell you something. I want to do a documentary on timing, and Cowboy should be the lead person in the documentary. Timing is everything, and we look at timing as, well, I left at this time and I didn't get. I'm talking about timing in life. So Cowboy was born just too early. Had he been born 25 years later, he'd have this mild winters we deal with. Think of the rough winters that guy has lived with on his bicycle.
You're not kidding.
It's been terrible. At the times he would come in and the icicles coming out of his nose, down his beard. It looked like who's
the abominable snowman?
No, he looked like the oatmeal guy from Kansas City.
He would have run from the bike lanes.
Oh, Andy Reid, yeah.
Oh,
Thank you, Davey, for being with me. Paul, this was this movie has been. It may not be the biggest movie when it's all said and done. I don't know. I think it's going to be really big, but it has been the biggest thing to hit here, and it opens the door for so much more.
Exactly, and hopefully the videos that I produced, they're going to go online. They got to go to New York Film. And they're going to all of the supply companies that do the filming and stuff. Hopefully, they will recommend this place to people, because if you watch the show, if you watch the segments, you'll find out these people absolutely loved Utica. They recommend it highly. They want to come back here because it's just so damn easy to do it here.
Yeah,
everything's within a mile or less than a mile, and it's cheap. The food's great,
and we are so eager, right? We are so eager to help.
Well, the community, it was phenomenal. I mean, they came out in droves to either be extras or help out or whatever, just to watch. I can't thank them enough.
All right.
When I made a huge mistake at the beginning, at the onset of this thing when we first came back about a year ago. I said, everybody send me your stuff to my email address at City Hall. And I was inundated. I was just basically the middleman, and I was forwarding
from people who want to help. Yeah.
Well, and I was forwarding to their casting department. So. A lot of people came up to me and said, "Thank you for recommending me and stuff like that." But I don't remember.
There's some other things I want to promote that you're doing on the show and the city. Can you hang for a few minutes?
Of course, I'm not going anywhere.
And just do, Andrew. I'm going to do what you want me to do. When Paul, just do a final plug for this weekend's show.
Yeah. So tell us, Paul, what you got going on. You've got.
It's called City Limits. It's on every Sunday.
Yes.
On Channel 7, WABC, WTR. At noon, and then WPNY, that's Channel 12 at 7 p.m.
Okay, and is Mayor Galimi
Mayor Galimi's in the movie.
He's in the movie.
He played. It's
All right,
they take
thank
a scene. It's like a New Year's Eve scene.
Yeah.
And they kind of like mimic the ball dropping in Manhattan, and Mike's playing the saxophone. Old Lang Syne, and he's very good.
That's awesome.
He's a very good saxophone.
That's awesome.
But as
I
far
like
as
that.
city limits, I know that's technically the city's show, but it's the mayor's show, right? So is he
Well,
going to be
that's it.
playing a role moving forward in the
of course,
in the
of course,
program? Is
of
there
course.
any mention of his tax increase?
No.
and
We haven't
anything like that?
we haven't discussed that at all yet. We're going to wait till that's formulated. I've seen very little of Michael because in January, I was on the set all the time.
Yeah.
And then this past February, he's been working on the budget. And I've been working on the show, and it's been a Herculean task getting this thing out the door because there was so much footage, so many interviews, and it was tough to get it in within half an hour. But but Mike's got he'll be very accurate in the show.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Andrew.
Well, you do a wonderful job,
thank
and we appreciate all you do.
you.
And anytime you ever need anything, you're welcome here.
Am I getting kicked out the door right now?
No, you can hang out. You can hang out. We needed to stall before we get our next guest on. So I'll see. We'll pot it up and see if Bill's ready.
Listen, you're like 60 seconds too late. I mean, I have been ready. When you want me to do something, it gets done in less than 15 seconds. I just want you to know.
I'll keep that in mind.
Who's the next guest? Who's bumping me?
As you mentioned, you weren't sure who your council person was. Well, he's on the line right now with Bill.
Perfect.
Joe, do you prefer Joseph or Joe?
Joe is fine. Good morning.
Joe, good morning. Joe Bitar is a councilman on the Utica Common Council and is one of the Democrats on the council and is with us right now. Joe, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks again for having me.
So are you feeling you can get this down? Are you confident that you guys can get this down to below 1%, a 1% increase?
Well, here's the thing, and I assume you're referring to the amendments that were proposed.
57 of them yesterday, which, by the way, the meeting had to be stopped legally, right? Can you explain what happened there?
Sure. So my understanding is some of the council members wanted more notice, more time to review the proposed amendments. And I will say the proposed amendments, I believe the plan was to have those amendments go to the committee, so there would be more time.
Okay.
To go through those.
I'm having a tough time on your line there. I think I got you back now. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. So speaking to the amendments, look, I'll be considering all of the proposed amendments in conjunction with what I learned from the departments during the budget meetings, and then making a decision on which amendments I ultimately support, which amendments I do not support. And I could give you an example. Yesterday.
Yep, I'm losing him. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm losing your. I get about a sentence and a half, and then I lose you. So if you can move to a special area wherever you are, and continue. Go ahead.
Oh, I apologize. Here.
Yeah, that's even worse. Listen, Joe, I'm in the basement. I got a signal. Come on, we got to get this done. I realize how helpless we feel when our phone is not making the right connection. It's a pain in the neck.
All right, I'm very curious.
Can you hear me at all here?
I got you now. This is better. Yep.
Okay. All right. So speaking to the amendments, and I apologize, I don't know when I cut out.
Yep, no worries.
But working with the departments during these budget meetings to learn what their needs are, and then reconsidering all of the proposed revisions. Now, yesterday, as I mentioned, we met with the fire department, the chief and the assistant chief. We asked a lot of questions, and one of the proposed revisions is a pullback on funds for custodial services. It was made clear by the department that line is important for day-to-day workings. After further review, I'm not going to be voting yes on that particular proposal. So, the point is, this is the preliminary stage, which, again, is I think the entire reason why these proposals were going to go into the committee, not be voted on until after meeting with the departments. And that's how I'm looking at all of these. So to answer your question, Bill, about whether we think we could get the tax percentage below 1%, I don't know what that tax percentage will ultimately be. What I do know is I think it can be lowered through various methods, whether it's adding to projected revenues or looking at what can be cut off in excess without disrupting anyone's job in the city. And I want to make this extremely clear. As far as the fire and police department go, there's no proposal to reduce the complement of the fire department, of the police department. And if there was such a proposal, I would not support it. We're in a position now where the police department, fire department, both are extremely important, and what they do is extremely hard work, and they need our support. They need the city's support, and they certainly have my support. I just want to be clear on that.
Samantha Colosimo Testa. They violated open meetings law. Not that they wanted more time. They received a letter from me and had to cancel. It came from the New York State Committee on Open Government. So apparently, the rule is 24 hours before the meeting. Everybody has to get the amendments. And I believe that's why it was, according to Samantha, that's why it was postponed. So,
and I personally did not see a letter, but I think it was mentioned earlier on the air that the next special meeting is on March 5th. So any proposed amendments, I think, will be submitted well in advance of that March 5th meeting, regardless of who's submitting it. Anyone is obviously on the council able to submit any proposed revisions.
Do you feel the mayor and the common council, and even maybe the comptroller, not maybe, he was the comptroller, and maybe the budget director, do you feel that they let the taxpayers down by kicking the can down the road year after year? That's part one. And part two, are you nervous at all or cautious going forward that you might be doing the very same thing?
So the first portion of your question regarding kicking the can down the road, I wasn't on the council at that point, so my knowledge is just what I've heard on the radio, and understanding that there was no tax increase for several years in a row. And I think when there's not a tax increase for several years in a row, you may come to a point where a higher than usual tax increase may be proposed. And I think that's the situation we're in now. That being said, 16.5% is a very high tax increase. And where I'm coming from is I've had people reach out to me in email and by phone, really flooded with residents reaching out to me, urging and in some cases pleading that we do something to reduce the proposed 16.5% tax. Across the political spectrum, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, residents are telling me they're on fixed incomes, and 16.5% would hurt very much. So again, I think when you have 0% tax increases year after year, there comes a point where we're in a situation where we do have a higher than usual tax proposal. I think there's options here to make propose an increase that's much more palatable to those who are on fixed incomes, who have to allocate certain costs. Now, the second part of your question, I believe was if we're doing the same thing, kicking the can down the road. I don't believe so, because a high portion of these proposed revisions have to do with increasing revenue projections. And, there's evidence to support that, especially looking at sales tax revenue, for example. We have several events this year in Utica that allow for a higher projection of sales tax. The International Ice Hockey Federation Women's World Championship, I believe, starts in April. The Boilermaker is, I believe, getting back to pre-COVID numbers in terms of participants. So there's plenty of evidence that suggests a higher sales tax estimate is warranted. We also heard that the Utica's first cannabis dispensary opened recently, and the mayor was there to cut the ribbon for the opening. Let's look at taxes related to those dispensaries. I don't believe revenue was included in the proposed budget to account for that. Which, by the way, I believe is projected to be around $200,000 to $300,000 in additional revenue for the city. So, when looking at the increases in projected revenue, on top of making fiscally responsible revisions to expenditures, I think it puts us in a position where we can get that percentage well below the 16.5%, while also not having to dip further into our general fund. I believe the proposal is $3.2 million. That's our savings account. So we have to keep that in mind as well, and not get that to a point where it hurts the financial health of the city.
All right. again, a lot of this remains to be seen, right? If you can save, that's a big deal without hurting departments, without putting anybody in jeopardy. Obviously, crime is a big problem right now. The last thing we want to be doing, as you said, is cutting the police or fire. And then, do you feel that there is so now we bring in? Obviously, there will be a meeting. You'll have the other side. You're going to also have the mayor who will be able to explain himself when it comes to the proposed budget. Chances are we're not going to be at a percentage point. Maybe we're going to be closer to 6 or 7. Would you agree with that?
The ultimate number on where we end up,
You don't know.
I don't know, but I will say I believe it can be well below that 16.5% in a responsible way.
And
I think
then-
that's important to say.
And then, Joe, if I could, the 16%, when you hear that, gets thrown around and is oftentimes misunderstood. So if I'm correct, it's 16% against the city tax. A lot of people were in the beginning. They were like, "God, my house is assessed at $100,000. That's 16% on $100,000. That just destroys my budget." So it's not as bad. 16% is not as bad as it seemed in the beginning. Would you agree with that?
Well, I'll say, I've heard plenty of examples of, I believe Mayor Galimi, when this was proposed, had mentioned that his taxes would go up around $500 to $600 a year. Am I correct in saying that?
I believe so,
that
yes. Yep.
So, taking that number, I think that equates to anywhere from $41 to $42 a month. And I hear certain proponents of the 16.5% increase say, well, $41 to $42 a month, that's okay, that's manageable. But as we all know, that's not how our tax payments work. As many of us know, the city of Utica collects taxes in 3 installments. April 30th, July 31st, and January 31st.
Yeah.
So, we're not talking about $40 to $42 a month. We're talking about hundreds of dollars per installment. And again, I go back to those who've reached out to me on fixed incomes. When you have to budget for an additional $200 payment, let's say, January 31st after the holidays, that's tough. When you have to account for $150 on July 31st for another payment, all the while, other taxes are due, school tax, county tax. So I think, when we hear the $41 to $42 a month, it's broken down like that, that's all good and well. However, again, when these tax payments are in 3 installments, it equates to hundreds of dollars. So that's
all right. Fair enough.
I want to
and
make
then
there.
Final question: is Paul Buckley safe? I can't imagine after such a successful movie adventure that happened in Utica that we would want to cut the movie department and everything that Paul does,
No, you
including
can't.
City Limits. Do we agree, Joe, that this is a good investment?
Well, we'll have to take a look at everything on that. I'll have to look into that more. But I will say this, we don't want to make cuts to any department that is, required to keep a certain department up and running day to day. We're looking at the excess and doing it I want to emphasize, in a responsible way where the city can keep thriving and the departments can keep thriving, but also keeping our residents in mind and getting that 16.5% down.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll say. On
Just
that.
remember,
Careful, Joe. You're talking to a constituent there.
Yeah, I voted for him.
Just remember, the film czar is the department. I mean, he's everything. He sweeps the floors. He does everything. So
Yeah, right.
What
All
did I
right.
say? A one-man show.
It's a one-man
Built-in cost
show.
saving. Yeah.
Yes. Joe Bitar, thank you for the time. Let's do it again.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Have a good day.
Thanks so much. Paul, I don't mean to embarrass you there, put you in an awkward spot, but, I got to make sure that you're going to be sticking around
Protected.
here. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Bill. And there are tire tracks all over me now.
I just think too, I don't know what point this is. Maybe just opposing this just to be in opposition of the new mayor, and what I think to try to make cuts here and there, and or not make cuts, but to prevent spending. I think that Galimi's goal, and I don't want to speak for him, is to be preventative, to be proactive, and to make sure that we don't have to continue to do this for years to come. And I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how it all plays out.
I know Sam wouldn't agree with me on this, but it is the way it's supposed to work. I mean, the way city government is set up, there's a reason why the Common Council gets to vote on it. Whoever the city fathers were had to know that the people on the Common Council were not going to be budget experts, which is why, having a budget director is a great way. A budget department is a great idea for a city the size of Utica. But right now, Utica doesn't have a budget director. So now they put their proposal forward. The mayor challenges it. Each department can challenge. The unions can challenge. And other Republican members on the council can challenge. So it is kind of the way the process is supposed to work.
Yeah, and I'd imagine that Mayor Galimi, he maybe probably put it a little higher, and then the key to any negotiation is to start high, knowing you're going to have to surrender a little.
And of course, he says, no, I did not do that, but, you may very well be right.
Yeah.
All right, let me break. We'll come back with a little bit on Buckley, and then we'll talk about some odds making into the weekend, some responsible extracurricular activity, and then the only attorney who can argue in front of the Supreme Court, by the way, the only attorney in the White House press corps, John Decker, is coming up, and we have a lot to talk about. Coming up at WIBX.
When you order food for work on EasyCater.com, we've got your back with 24/7 support to make sure everything goes right. Confirming with the restaurant, guiding drivers when they need delivery instructions, making sure the food arrives on time and is ordered. But if there's a problem...
Thanks for calling EasyCater.
Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll answer in seconds. Because food for work has to work, and we're right here to make sure it does. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Andrew, I'll do
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency.
What did you
I'm
say?
taking charge of my
I'll
cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
This station is brought
Just remember,
to you by
I think all of our
Tolman's
comments
Tire,
go live on
located
YouTube,
in
by the way,
Utica,
during the breaks.
Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tolmanstire.com.
You've put off getting a new bed.
Yes, we do realize that.
Okay, so if you're going to rip anybody, let's do it after the show.
Kevin Fear from Mattress
Or let's do it
Express,
during.
I have
Let's
the
do it
answer
live on
for
air.
you
I think
for the
we should do.
year. Any purchase in the store, $1,500
but I will
more,
say-
qualify and sign up and get up to
Okay,
60
I will
months
say,
to pay
Andrew-
with no money down. Don't
Can you
give
hear me?
us a nickel.
I
You
think
heard me right,
he's,
up to 60 months to pay.
I'll
no
just
money
say
down. That
he is
includes our full lineup
so-
of massage
he is so
chairs.
uncommon for
And yes, it includes
the Common
Tempur-Pedic,
Council.
Stearns and Foster, Purple, Puffy, the Smart
In other
Bed
words,
by
I think
Instant
he's-
Comfort, Posh
I
and
shouldn't say
Lavish,
there are a lot of
and
smart people,
more.
but
You
he
can
seems
get
like a smart guy who
pre-qualified
knows-
at Mattress Express,
who at least
NY.com.
likes to look at both sides before he comes to a conclusion.
Stop into any store. No appointment necessary. We'd be
I hope
happy
that's-
to qualify
Probably not going to be in
you
lockstep with
in-store,
everything that
and you can call
his fellow
1-800
Democrats
new
do.
Beds. See store for details.
What's the last spot again?
When you order food for work on EasyCater.com, we've got your back with 24/7 support to make sure everything goes right.
Distracted driving
Confirming with the restaurant, guiding drivers when they need delivery instructions, making sure the food arrives on time and is ordered. But if there's a problem,
Thanks for calling EasyCater.
call us anytime, day or night, and we'll answer in seconds. Because food for work has to work, and we're right here to make sure it does. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Here in 2024, are you thinking about selling your home? That is a major, major task, a major project. You know it's going to be stressful. You know it's going to be difficult. You know there's going to be ups and downs through the whole process, disappointments even. Making sure you have a partner you have an assistant that's working with you, means everything in the world, and you get that when you list with River Hills Properties. All the work the listing agent does, so much more than other agents in the area. I'm just telling you. I know that firsthand when my wife and I sold our home. You're looking for someone to be there when the house is shown. Keep an eye on the property to answer questions if people have questions. The only one we could find that would do that was River Hills. They do it for everyone. It's the River Hills way. Why wouldn't you list with River Hills? Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. They have offices in Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica. Call 315-896-1009. They have a brand new TV show coming to local television, coming soon. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Richard this morning, Andrew. A band of heavy snow, which can rapidly reduce visibility. Less than a quarter of a mile. This band of heavy snow is producing extremely heavy snow of a rate of 2 to 3 inches an hour. Southern Oneida County, Madison, northern Oneida counties, beware.
Beware.
Beware, says Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
Sorry. I don't have a cough switch in here. I do, but it's
okay.
way back there. By the time I get back there, I've coughed.
Yeah, right. It's too late.
All right, Buck. Listen, this is our studio, Paul.
I know. I like it.
Oh, can I? You know what? I haven't done this yet, but if you're watching on YouTube, can I show the Frog Studio, Andrew?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know why we couldn't.
I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody that you didn't.
There's a picture of it right there. Completely gutted out. All the equipment is gone.
Let's see.
Well, they left stuff on the walls. We can leave stuff on the walls.
Well, that's probably all going to come down.
They don't want the. Oh, okay. They don't want the neon clock left because they don't want it to get
dusty or dirty.
You getting bumped? You guys get booted out of here?
Yeah,
we're going through a full
Paul,
remodel.
Do you think this is their way of getting rid of me?
No,
because here's the email.
That's where you're going?
All personal belongings must be removed from your studio by close of business. No, I'm not kidding. By close of business on Friday.
This Friday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
We're going to be when the next time you'll be in this room, it's going to look completely different.
Oh, but you'll be back in this room though.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Every studio in our building is going to get a remodel.
Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
if
be
we're
back.
lucky.
Maybe we'll be back.
Allegedly, we'll be back.
Maybe we'll be working together, Billy.
Maybe it's you and Andrew. I mean, I don't know.
They're going to add Bill into the film czar budget.
There you go.
But for now, our studio is going to be my home studio for a month. And Andrew,
I know where you live. I'll come out there to see you.
Andrew and Davey will be. Andrew and Davey will be here every morning. My wife loves it. So yeah, she is excited. Oh, she can't wait.
Oh boy,
lucky girl
for April. Okay, Paul. Let's talk about some of the upcoming stuff going on.
Right. I've got one definite coming in April. I got 3 in the hopper.
These are movies
yes,
that are being filmed.
Movie productions, and it should be a very active summer coming up. Hopefully, spring and summer will be. There's like one that wants to be like a Netflix series. And that's going to be huge. There's another guy coming in. I haven't heard. The one that's coming in April is a horror franchise, and I can't release the name right now because I don't even know it. But apparently, it's been very popular. Started off on. What's that?
Keep going. Just keep going.
Okay.
So this is a big horror franchise that's been around.
Well, that's just brand new. It's coming out. They started off with like a budget of like $250,000. The first movie made millions, so they put it into the next one. The next one made like five times that.
So this is something we'll have seen or heard about,
right?
And the third installment's coming to Utica.
Right. And I'm sure, of course, they'll milk the hell out of that too.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So they'll be like maybe like Jaws, like Saw 5 or 6.
Oh
whatever,
yeah, for 18,
something like that.
Saw 18.
And then I got a couple more coming in, two, 3 more coming in the spring. So I'm very excited about it, and it's paying off. The Stanley tax credits is a big draw. And hopefully, the future looks really, really good for Film Utica. And we're talking. There's some conversations about maybe doing a film festival for amateur filmmakers, doing shorts. We'll talk about that more later. But
nice.
we got a lot of things on the burner and on the hopper, whatever. But it's going to be exciting for Film Utica. I'm very excited for it.
And it looks like your job is safe as of now. I'm just saying.
I hope so.
Unless KDIL and your council person have anything to do with it.
It would be a huge loss to be
Well,
honest.
the film Utica thing is just starting to. The momentum is building, and the ripple effect is going to be huge. And with the last film that was in here, they brought in over $1 million into the city. I mean that's that's no small.
All right,
change.
love it, Paul. Thank you. Go Pioneers! You'll be there.
Are you gonna be there?
I will be there. You had to buy your season tickets, so I'm back in my season tickets.
Well, that's not true because I went in and I bumped up a little bit.
Oh, you did?
Oh, you upgraded?
They did a special thing for you then.
Wow.
Not at all. I went in there yesterday afternoon and no one was there.
Well, yeah, you could do it. You could do it afternoon on Wednesday.
Right, exactly.
You could bump up.
Yep. So
but
I
just,
But you'll see me. I'm in the same section, just a row back. So we'll hook up. We'll hook up on the game.
All right, love it.
All right,
Okay.
sweetheart. Love you.
All
man.
right.
Hope you feel better.
Thank
All
you.
right, buddy. Yeah, bye.
Paul Buckley, and that movie. Boy, wouldn't it be great if the premiere was in the fall? It was in like Christmas time at the Stanley. That would be
that'd
very
be nice.
cool. I've got Scott coming up. Let me just do a couple of comments. John in Deerfield, you guys, we can hear you talking over the commercials. Thank you for that reminder, which is what I just reminded Andrew, which you may have heard over the commercial. How dare you guys put a council member on that wasn't ranting and raving like a lunatic? What a refreshing change, Lance and Lee. And I kind of, not that I made that comment necessarily, but I do agree that he's a bit unique. Would you agree with that, Andrew?
Yes, sorry about that.
Okay.
Yep.
He's a bit unique. Am I supposed to do something that go ahead, tell me.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You read Lance and Lee's comment about how dare you guys put a council member on that wasn't ranting and raving like a lunatic?
No, I did not. No, I had no idea he said that. What did he say?
Jeez.
What did he say?
How dare you guys put a council member on that wasn't ranting and raving like a lunatic? What a refreshing change.
I know.
I wonder who he's stinging to.
Tim says, I like your new format on YouTube. Thank you, Tim. I think it'll look better as we keep going. I'm excited about it as well. Steve, how about eliminating city taxes for seniors 80 and over? Well, now we know Steve is over 80. Larry, this lawyer is a clown. I wouldn't want him to represent me for a parking ticket. Who's he talking about? Policelli? Come on, Larry.
I think he might be talking about Vitar. He's an attorney.
Oh, he is an attorney too. Okay. And then I guess that's all I have for right now. Let me bring in Scott from Kirkville. Scott, good morning.
Listen, are you taking a request? I'd like to hear Paul McCartney's hit "Snow Band on a Run" right now.
Snow Band on the Run. Okay. How are you? You got to be getting hit.
Oh, this thing. This thing is about as narrow as it gets. I mean,
it is.
It actually fits through the Daylight Donuts drive-through. That's how narrow the Snow Band is.
Well, that is a wonderfully fast and narrow drive-through. Daylight Donuts, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. Great coffee, Seattle's best.
Great donuts, and I heard that you actually serve those in the green room. That's why nobody wants to leave the green room.
Nobody wants, right?
No.
I like to use that excuse, if that's the reason. All right, how about Syracuse? I got to tell you, if they win out, I'm feeling a little better. What do you think?
It's interesting, Bills, because where they started from in this net, we have a lot more time because that's what's going to kill them if they don't make it, because it's almost predetermined what your number is. And right now, Syracuse, with all the wins, is still in the 80s, and there's teams ahead of them. But yet, the teams ahead of them are losing. They're not going forward. So therefore, you're right. It's better right now, but they're going to have to definitely beat Clemson on Tuesday.
Yep.
That's the last big win, and I think you're still going to have to win a couple games in the tournament, which means that it's better to be a team you're going to be playing the Duke and Carolina, and if you win, you're going to move. They're not going to do anything if they play the Pittsburghs or the NC States, but you got to watch the teams in front of it, and if you want to be like a bubble watcher, watch the ones that can drop out is the Mountain West. Somehow, some way, they got six teams thinking they're in the tournament, and they usually only get 3. And even tonight, you might want to root for, even though I'm a Gonzaga fan, if you're an SU fan, root for San Francisco to beat Gonzaga. This is like uncharted territory where Gonzaga's on the bubble. Usually they're 1 and 2 seed in what region, but they're actually the last team in right now in a lot of the bracketologies, and a team's got to lose in front of them for Syracuse to jump over them. If they win, then that's the thing. But they're playing the best basketball of all, and Judah Mintz can take over a game. And
how about
this is probably his last year? Yeah,
Judah Mintz in that last game, he looked really good. And
great.
I hope he stays for one more year. And I'm afraid we might not keep him.
The thing was, he sent out some cryptic message, but the thing is, with the way that college basketball is, he's going to enter the transfer portal because it's almost free agency. Who's got more money to pay?
I know.
We'll find out what the INL, because I think that's why he stayed anyway, because they paid him probably a good INL money, and he's going to make more doing that than playing in the D League and getting ready for the NBA. But you're right. This is probably his last year at Syracuse, unless we'll find out if the pockets are deep. And they're playing Louisville this Saturday. Oh, by the way, just a couple quick things. Timberlake did win the Rebel, and there's a horse called Door Knocks that's running in the Fountain of Youth, another Derby prep this Saturday at Gulfstream. Keep an eye on that horse. That's another horse that has super potential. So if you start looking at that stuff, and
all right, anything for the weekend? What do you think?
As far as what? As far as
anything you're betting on that somebody else could hop on?
I think basically it's hard to say because if we're talking horses, I'm taking Door Knock, but it's hard on a Thursday because college basketball is different from football, where the lines that don't even come out there. Up until last night, I've been betting the under on Virginia. I don't know if you saw some of their scores in the last 3 games up until yesterday, but they couldn't even break 50. So I've been betting the under on that. But I knew they were overdue. I would probably the best, like I said, in Syracuse's favor. Keep an eye on St. Mary's, what the line is that game, because St. Mary's could be their year in that conference. It's the first year that Gonzaga probably won't do it. But keep an eye on the. Last week it worked out good for Syracuse. The last 4 out and the 4 out after that, actually lost 7 games. They actually lost 7 games. So the teams ahead of them have been losing, and Syracuse has been winning. And unfortunately, Clemson and the guys, they don't play a week from Saturdays. Tuesdays are last
of the season. I know. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And then the tournament. Then the conference.
That's
ACC
what counts.
Tournament. Yep.
That's
what's
counts.
going to count.
Win two games there. And by the way, the Chaminade win does not count as a win in the net ranking. So I think they're 19-5. They're actually 18. They're 18-10. So go by that, because they have to win at least 22 games to go, I think.
All right. John, thank you. Good luck. Have a great weekend, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you. And there you go. Andrew, I'm going to go for about 5 minutes with John, and then I'll take a break at the end because I've got him on the line right now. On the line, he is the chief White House correspondent for Great TV, the one and only John Decker. Good morning.
Hey, hello there, Bill. Hope you're doing well today.
Doing well. Great to have you. I really couldn't wait to talk. We'll get to the border visit in a second. But what is your take as an attorney who spends time at the Supreme Court? What is your take on the Supreme Court willing to actually hear the immunity case from Trump?
Well, it certainly is good news in the sense that it delays that election interference case for Donald Trump. Remember, the start date for that trial was originally supposed to be March the 4th. So it's not going to happen March the 4th.
Right.
And now that the Supreme Court has set oral arguments for the week of April the 22nd, we likely won't get an opinion from the Supreme Court on this particular issue until the end of June. Gives a very narrow window for that trial to take place before the presidential election. Why did the Supreme Court take this case? I think that the Supreme Court wants to weigh in on this idea of what Donald Trump and his lawyers are claiming, that he has absolute immunity over all of his actions, even alleged illegal actions that he took while he was president of the United States. And you may recall a unanimous D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals panel has already ruled that Donald Trump did not have absolute immunity. And so the Supreme Court will look at that opinion, that ruling by the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, and figure out if they agree with it or if they disagree with it, and will hear their opinion, will render their opinion by the end of June. So we won't have long to wait in terms of figuring out where the Supreme Court stands on this particular issue.
Boy, it is going to be very, very interesting. And the other part that the former president says is you have to have immunity because otherwise every president that gets out of office would be indicted by the opposing party for a bunch of things.
Has that happened yet?
I
Has that happened before Donald Trump?
I do not believe that is a true statement. Just personally.
Yeah, well, it's never happened yet. You know, there are briefs that are filed in Supreme Court cases. They're called in the vernacular friend of the court briefs, but they're called amicus briefs. And I would be surprised if any former president files a brief that agrees with the position that has been taken by Donald Trump, that he should have absolute immunity for all of the acts that he took while he was president of the United States. We'll wait, and I will ask actually the White House deputy press secretary who will be traveling with us today when we travel down to Brownsville, Texas, whether or not the administration plans to file a brief on this case, which certainly affects the presidency.
So you will be on Air Force One going to the border today.
I will. The president's traveling to Brownsville, Texas. We depart around 10:15 this morning. And I will be on Air Force One for this trip. It's a long trip. Probably get back to Washington around 11 o'clock at night. The president, this is his second visit to the U.S. southern border. The first visit was to El Paso, Texas. And this is going to get a lot of attention today, the issue of border security, not only because President Trump is traveling to Brownsville, but also 325 miles away, I should say, from where the president will be former President Donald Trump in Eagle Pass, Texas. That's the epicenter of the migrant crisis. And so he, too, will be talking about border security today. And that's the reason why you're going to hear a lot about this issue throughout today and tonight.
All right, out of time to get to the Hunter Biden stuff, but that's been interesting, too. Well, let's talk just a second about it. A lot has happened over the last week.
Yeah, he testified behind closed doors, sworn deposition yesterday. I'm really looking forward to when he testifies publicly. That will happen certainly before Memorial Day. That will get a lot of attention, a lot of the same questions, same answers that will be given in the private setting. But that will certainly lead cable television to lead with that story when he ultimately testifies publicly. Right. No date has been announced yet by the House Oversight Committee.
John, as always, we appreciate your insight. Safe travels today.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. In Sarah's Flooring Outlet is the area's leading store for flooring. It's flooring. That's what they do. Only flooring. You go to a flooring store for flooring. They are the experts at flooring. And you can get 6 months interest-free financing right now. Go to InSarah'sFlooringOutlet.com. Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy. Online, InSarah'sFlooringOutlet.com. Additionally, right now, save at Mazda. Certified pre-owned vehicles at Steep Pony Mazda, where they only select the best of the best late model Mazda vehicles for you to choose from. They offer award-winning Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles with a 160-point inspection. And as Ricky Z always says, let's make your deal on a Mazda, a pre-owned Mazda. Tomorrow morning, we're live from the Radiothon at Utica University. News is next.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journeys. Nokian tires, all-weather tires, are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow. Just like you, Nokian tires, all-weather products are built for adventure in all conditions. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. When you purchase 4 Nokian tires, you'll get installation, mounting, and balancing absolutely free in the month of February at Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit our stores in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at tolmanstire.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/